Today I will share with you some life-changing philosophy. Before we start, make sure to like the video and subscribe. Also, comment where are you watching from and at what time you are watching. Have a nice sleep. Every one of us at some point feels like life is spinning out of control. Whether it's a lost job, a broken relationship, or just the chaotic pace of daily routines, these moments can leave us feeling helpless and overwhelmed. But what if I told you there's a way to not just survive these challenges, but to thrive amidst them? Today, we're going to unpack 10 powerful strategies inspired by Stoic philosophy, an ancient yet timeless wisdom that teaches us how to strengthen our mental fortitude. We'll explore how figures like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus turn their philosophical insights into practical tools for overcoming adversity and maintaining inner peace. By the end of this video, you'll have mastered the art of mental strength, ready to face life's storms with composure and resilience. So stay tuned as we delve into these transformative techniques that promise to bolster your mental defenses and enhance your life's quality. If you appreciate what we're doing here and want to keep learning with us, hitting the subscribe button is a simple, free way to show your support. And remember, don't skip any part of this video. Every technique we discuss could be the key to your next personal breakthrough. Let's dive in and discover how to apply these age-old Stoic principles to our modern-day challenges. When life knocks you down, it's tempting to view it as a personal defeat. But here's a Stoic twist. Those setbacks, they're actually your secret weapons. Think about the last time you faced something truly challenging. Maybe you didn't get that promotion you were sure was yours, or perhaps a relationship didn't work out the way you hoped. Instead of viewing these as mere failures, Stoicism invites us to see them as pivotal moments of learning and growth. Aristotle once mused that the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. This rings especially true when we face challenges. Each difficult situation is a classroom, and the lessons we learn are about our resilience, our adaptability, and our true desires. For example, not getting that promotion might reveal an opportunity to enhance certain skills, or even reconsider our career path to find something that aligns better with our passions and capabilities. A relationship ending might be tough, but it also opens the door to self-discovery and understanding what we truly value in partnerships. This Stoic practice isn't just about looking on the bright side. It's about actively using every hurdle as a step to climb higher. It's about taking control of the narrative of our lives. By embracing challenges as opportunities, we're not just passively getting through life, we're actively shaping it. Each challenge molds us, teaches us, and prepares us for future obstacles, turning what could be stumbling blocks into stepping stones. This mindset doesn't just make us mentally stronger, it makes us architects of our own destiny, building a robust foundation of character and resilience. Imagine for a moment that your abilities are like clay in a potter's hands, moldable, adaptable, and capable of forming into whatever shape we desire. This is the essence of a growth mindset, a concept that isn't just modern psychology, but deeply rooted in ancient wisdom. The Stoics believed that our character could be shaped by our thoughts and actions, reinforcing the idea that personal growth is within our control. Adopting a growth mindset means seeing yourself as a work in progress. It's about embracing the belief that with effort, perseverance, and resilience, improvement is always within reach. Consider the challenges you face not as indicators of your inabilities, but as opportunities to evolve. Every time you push through a tough project or step out of your comfort zone, you're not just accomplishing a task, you're stretching and growing your capabilities. This mindset shift can be incredibly liberating. It removes the shackles of perceived limitations and opens up a world of possibilities. Where once you might have thought, I can't do this, with a growth mindset, you begin to think, I can't do this yet. It's a small word, but that yet is powerful. It's full of potential and future success. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." This speaks directly to the heart of a growth mindset. By daring to try, to fail, and to try again, we make our tasks less daunting. We learn that failure isn't the opposite of success, but a vital part of achieving it. Each failure teaches us something new about how to approach problems, hone our skills, and become better than we were yesterday. You know, there's a common misconception that self-discipline is about punishing yourself, about gritting your teeth and just grinding through life. But let's reframe that idea, because what it really revolves around is the concept of self-mastery, a key component in Stoic philosophy. It's about aligning your actions with your values and goals, not as a form of punishment, but as a path to genuine freedom. When you practice self-discipline, you're essentially saying, I am in control of my actions, and I choose to act in ways that lead me closer to my ideal self. Self-discipline is the art of choosing long-term satisfaction over short-term pleasure, which is a core Stoic practice. Think about Marcus Aurelius and his meditations. He wasn't just ruling an empire, he was mastering himself. This mastery over his desires and impulses allowed him to lead a life that was not only meaningful, but also aligned with his principles. Now, imagine applying that kind of discipline to your own life. Say you want to get healthier. The disciplined choice isn't just about denying yourself that extra slice of cake. It's about choosing to respect your body's needs and your health goals over fleeting cravings. Building this kind of discipline can start small. It might be as simple as getting up with your first alarm in the morning. Each time you resist the temptation to hit snooze, you strengthen your willpower. It's like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. And as this strength builds, so does your ability to tackle larger challenges. Suddenly, tasks that once felt daunting or out of reach seem manageable because you've trained yourself to persevere. So when we talk about self-discipline in the Stoic sense, we're really talking about freedom. It's the freedom to choose your actions based on your rational decisions rather than whims or fleeting emotions. This isn't about restricting your life. It's about enhancing it, ensuring that every choice you make is a brick in the foundation of the life you want to build. It's easy to fall into the blame game when things go wrong, pointing fingers at others or circumstances, but here's where Stoic philosophy offers a powerful shift in perspective. Stoics like Epictetus believed that our responses to events are within our control, even when the events themselves are not. This idea is transformative because it means that you are the architect of your own experience, not merely a victim of circumstances. Taking responsibility means recognizing that your reactions, your emotions, and your actions are up to you. It's about looking in the mirror and saying, how did I contribute to this situation, and what can I do differently next time? This isn't about self-blame or guilt. It's about empowerment and growth. For instance, if a project at work doesn't go as planned, instead of blaming the team, the resources, or the timing, examine your own role. Could you have communicated more clearly? Was there a misstep in your planning? Acknowledging these things doesn't diminish your capabilities. It enhances them by paving the way for better strategies and solutions in the future. By embracing this level of accountability, you cultivate a sense of integrity and honesty with yourself that is deeply grounding. It leads to a life where you feel in control of your destiny, rather than tossed about by the winds of fate. And here's the best part. When you start taking responsibility for your actions, you also start to recognize your power to change your life. You're no longer a passive participant, but an active creator in your world. This approach fosters a deeper resilience, as you're not constantly derailed by unexpected outcomes. Instead, you learn from them, adjust, and move forward. It's about turning life's lessons into stepping stones toward a wiser, more capable you. Life's emotional roller coaster can really test our mettle, can't it? One minute you're up, the next you're down, and sometimes it feels like you're just stuck in a loop. But here's something Stoic philosophy teaches us. Resilience isn't about avoiding these ups and downs, it's about navigating them with grace. Stoics like Seneca believed that developing emotional resilience was key to maintaining inner peace, no matter the external chaos. Building emotional resilience starts with acceptance. It's about acknowledging that hardships, setbacks, and negative emotions are part of life. Think about it. Getting upset about feeling upset only adds another layer of distress. Instead, when challenges arise, Recognize them as opportunities to practice maintaining your composure. For example, if you get passed over for a promotion, allow yourself to feel disappointed, but don't let that disappointment derail your entire sense of self-worth. This is what the Stoics meant when they talked about using obstacles as fuel. Every emotional challenge is another chance to strengthen your resilience. Moreover, cultivating this resilience involves more than just dealing with disappointments. It's also about embracing a broader perspective. Consider the idea that every hardship might be serving a greater purpose in your personal growth. This shift in viewpoint can transform the emotional weight of an experience, turning feelings of victimhood into lessons of empowerment. But how do we practically build this resilience? Start small. Practice mindfulness to stay present during emotional disturbances. Engage in reflective journaling to process feelings constructively, or simply talk things out with someone whose perspective you trust. Over time, these practices help you develop a buffer against the rough patches, ensuring you're not so easily knocked off balance. Embracing this aspect of Stoic wisdom doesn't mean you won't feel pain or stress. Rather, it means you'll be better equipped to handle it. Emotional resilience is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And as you build this strength, you'll find that not only can you handle life's challenges better, but you're also more capable of enjoying life's joys fully and without reservation. Sometimes the difference between a good day and a tough one is simply our mindset. As we started, it might sound a bit out there, but hear me out. The power of your thoughts can truly shape your reality. This is where the practice of positive affirmations comes into play, a technique that's not only backed by modern psychology, but also echoes the Stoic focus on controlling what's within our power, our thoughts and reactions. Positive affirmations are like little anchors of self-belief that we plant firmly in our minds. They help combat the often automatic negative thoughts that can cloud our days and influence our actions negatively. For instance, instead of waking up with the dread of what could go wrong, imagine starting your day by affirming, "I have the strength to handle whatever comes my way," or "I am capable and prepared for my tasks." These aren't just feel-good quotes, they're declarations that set the tone for how you interact with the world around you. The Stoics weren't about empty optimism, but they valued the importance of a well-ordered mind and maintaining a positive outlook. They believed that our emotions and behaviors are the result of our judgments and thoughts, which means by shaping those thoughts, we can influence our emotional state and actions significantly. Marcus Aurelius, for instance, would remind himself every morning of the challenges he would face and affirm his ability to deal with them honorably and with patience. Integrating positive affirmations into your daily routine can start very simply. You might post sticky notes on your bathroom mirror with affirmations written on them, or set reminders on your phone to pause for a moment and repeat a few empowering words to yourself throughout the day. Over time, these affirmations help to overwrite those deep-seated beliefs that we are not enough, enabling us to approach life's challenges with more confidence and less anxiety. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when we think about all the things in life we can't control, the news, the weather, or other people's actions. But here's a refreshing thought from the Stoic playbook. Why not shift our focus to what we can influence? Stoicism teaches us the value of distinguishing between what is in our power and what isn't, and then pouring our energy into the former. This philosophy isn't about resignation, it's about empowerment. For instance, we can't control whether we'll face traffic on our commute, but we can control leaving early enough to feel relaxed on the road, or choosing an audiobook that makes the time pass more enjoyably. This approach can be applied to bigger aspects of life too. We might not have the power to change a difficult co-worker's behavior, but we can control our reactions to them, choosing to respond with patience and understanding rather than frustration. By focusing on our own actions, decisions, and attitudes, we harness the power of our agency. This doesn't just reduce stress, it builds confidence. Every time you choose to focus on what you can control, you're taking responsibility for your own peace of mind and well-being. It's a proactive stance. You're not just being tossed by the waves of fate, you're steering your own ship. And the more we practice this, the more natural it becomes. Start with small things, your posture, your breathing, or the way you allocate your time each morning. As these small efforts accumulate, they lead to significant changes in how resilient and responsive we feel. We begin to see that, though we can't control the world, we can control our place within it, making thoughtful choices that align with our values and goals. Ever noticed how a coffee catch-up with a cheerful friend can lift your spirits for the entire day? It's like their optimism is contagious, right? That's the power of surrounding yourself with positive people. It not only boosts your mood, but can fundamentally shift your outlook on life. Stoic philosophy, with its emphasis on inner tranquility and rational thinking, also recognizes the influence our social circles have on our personal growth and mindset. The Stoics were keen on the idea that to live a virtuous and content life, one must engage with those who embody the qualities we aspire to. If you spend time with individuals who are committed to personal growth, kindness, and positivity, you're more likely to cultivate these traits in yourself. Think about it. When you're around someone who faces challenges with a calm and optimistic outlook, their approach can inspire you to handle your own difficulties more gracefully. This doesn't mean you should shun friends who are going through tough times. Rather, it's about balancing empathy with the need to protect your own mental health. Being there for a friend in need is important, but so is immersing yourself in a community that uplifts and motivates you. Positive people aren't just happy all the time. They're realistic, resilient, and proactive. They're the ones who see a setback as a setup for a comeback, and their resilience can motivate you to adopt a similar attitude. To integrate this into your life, start by evaluating your current relationships. Which interactions leave you feeling energized? Which ones drain you? Gradually, spend more time with the energizers, and consider setting boundaries with those who drain you. Also, seek out new connections that align with your aspirations. Join clubs, groups, or online communities that share your interests or values. As you cultivate a supportive network, you'll find that their positive influences make it easier to maintain your own stoic balance and focus, enhancing your overall well-being and life satisfaction. By choosing your social circle wisely, you're not just choosing friends, you're choosing your future mindset and emotional environment. So, take a page from the Stoics. Let your friendships be your fortress, supporting and strengthening you as you navigate life's ups and downs. Taking a moment for yourself in today's non-stop world can sometimes feel like a luxury you can't afford, right? But here's the thing. Self-care isn't a luxury at all. It's essential, especially if we want to live the balanced, contented life that Stoicism teaches us about. Stoic philosophy isn't just about endurance, it's about flourishing in every aspect of life, and that includes taking good care of our body and mind. Self-care is often pictured as long bubble baths or days at the spa, but in Stoic terms, it's more about ensuring you're in the best shape to face whatever life throws your way. It's about creating a routine that includes activities that recharge your batteries and reset your spirit, not just once in a blue moon, but as a regular part of your life. This could be as simple as making sure you get enough sleep, eating nourishing foods, or setting aside time each day for meditation or reflection. Think of it this way. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers and a Roman emperor, despite his immense responsibilities, found time to write meditations that focused on his own self-improvement and philosophical reflection. If someone as busy as he was made time for self-care, we can too. And self-care isn't selfish, it's necessary. By taking care of ourselves, we are better equipped to be there for others and to face our responsibilities with a clear, focused mind. Incorporating self-care into your routine can start with small steps. Begin by identifying what truly replenishes you. Is it a quiet walk in the park, a rigorous workout, or perhaps just some quiet time with a book? Once you know what works for you, make it a non-negotiable part of your day or week. Schedule it like you would any important appointment, and guard that time against the demands of daily life. By consistently practicing self-care, you're not just looking after your physical health, but you're also nurturing your mental resilience. You're giving yourself a break from the stresses of daily life, which can boost your ability to think clearly and act wisely. Remember, a well-maintained tool performs best, and you are the most important tool in your life. Isn't it fascinating how each day offers us new lessons? No matter how old or experienced we might be, that's something the Stoics deeply understood and cherished: the endless journey of learning. They believed that wisdom wasn't just about accumulating knowledge, but about continuously adapting and applying that knowledge to improve oneself and cope better with life. Seneca, one of the great Stoic thinkers, once said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." It's a reminder that personal growth doesn't have a finish line. It's a lifelong pursuit. In the modern world, where change is the only constant, embracing a philosophy of never-ending learning is more relevant than ever. Think about all the successful people you know or have read about. What do they have in common? A relentless curiosity and a commitment to continuous learning. They read books, they experiment, they seek new experiences, and they aren't afraid to ask questions and challenge their own assumptions. But here's the best part. You don't need to be a great philosopher or a famous entrepreneur to benefit from this approach. All it takes is a commitment to remain open to new ideas and experiences, whether it's picking up a new hobby, learning a new skill, or simply reading a book outside of your usual genre. Every new thing you learn not only adds to your knowledge, but also enhances your understanding of the world. So how do you make continuous learning a part of your life? Start by setting achievable goals, like reading one book a month or completing an online course every quarter. Keep your mind active by engaging in discussions, attending workshops, or even teaching others what you know. Teaching is a fantastic way to deepen your understanding of a subject because it challenges you to present it clearly and thoughtfully. And there you have it. 10 powerful steps to not just cope with life's ups and downs, but to thrive through them. In the whirlwind of our daily lives, where challenges loom at every corner, the strength to not just survive but thrive is something we all yearn to harness. Imagine, then, not merely pushing through but evolving through every trial, emerging not only unscathed but stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Today, we delve into the core of what it means to be unbreakable. We explore the 6 defining habits of mentally strong people, habits that are not inherited but forged in the fires of discipline and self-reflection. Each moment of hardship, every instance where life knocks you down, these are not merely obstacles but opportunities. Opportunities that mentally strong people leverage to fortify their inner strength. What if I told you that the secret to enduring strength isn't about never falling, but about learning the art of rising every time we fall? It's about embracing the pain, learning from the turbulence, and transforming turmoil into triumph. So if you see the value in turning challenges into stepping stones, then join us, subscribe, and become part of a community committed to building strength. Are you ready to discover the incredible potential that lies beyond your trials? Let's get started. The very nature of life is change, yet how often do we find ourselves fighting it, resisting it, as if we could somehow escape the inevitable? The truth is, change is not just a part of life, it is life itself. Stoic philosophy teaches us that the only constant is change, and the mastery of one's life lies in the ability to adapt. To be mentally strong, to truly thrive in the midst of life's tempests, one must not only accept change, but welcome it with open arms. Think about the last time you faced a significant change. Perhaps it was a move to a new city, a shift in your career, or even a change in a personal relationship. Was it uncomfortable? Did it feel like you were losing a part of yourself? These feelings are natural, but here lies the crucial insight. Within that discomfort lies a profound opportunity for growth. Imagine for a moment that you are a ship at sea. Change is the wind. It can be unpredictable, wild, and frightening. But those who are mentally strong are the skilled sailors, adept at adjusting their sails, using the wind to propel them forward rather than be dashed against the rocks. They understand something fundamental, that the wind is not their enemy but a force that can be harnessed to explore new horizons. Stoicism offers a perspective that change, no matter how daunting, carries with it the seeds of new strength. It teaches us that what we initially perceive as setbacks are often veiled opportunities. it's about perception. The Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius once said, "Our actions may be impeded, but there can be no impeding our intentions or dispositions, because we can accommodate and adapt. The mind adapts and converts to its own purposes the obstacle to our acting, and this adaptation, this resilience, is at the core of mental strength." Let me share a story that illustrates the power of embracing change. It's about a friend of mine who lost his job, a career he had built over decades. Initially, he was devastated, overwhelmed by uncertainty and fear, but then he took a step that many might find counterintuitive. He embraced this dramatic change. He used his newfound time to pursue a passion he had always placed on the back burner: painting. Fast forward to today, and he not only found solace in his art, but has turned it into a thriving new career path. This wouldn't have been possible if he hadn't embraced the winds of change, stepping into the unknown with courage. So, how can you start to embrace change? Begin by viewing each change as an experiment, a step towards discovering new aspects of yourself. Whether it's changing a habit, altering your routine, or even changing the way you think about change itself, each step is a lesson, each pivot a chapter in your story of growth. Remember, every time you embrace change, you're not just adapting, you're setting the stage for transformation. Change breaks the old to make way for the new. And in that newness, you find new strengths, new passions, and new paths to happiness that you could never have anticipated. This isn't just about suppressing what you feel. Far from it. It's about understanding your emotions, channeling them constructively, and maintaining equilibrium even in the face of life's upheavals. We've all been there, right? Those moments when our feelings seem to get the better of us, clouding our judgment, dictating our actions. But what if we could master these tempestuous seas, navigate through them with the composure of a Stoic philosopher? Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control what happens to us, we absolutely can control how we respond. Picture this. You're faced with a situation that typically sends your heart racing and your mind spiraling into a vortex of what-ifs and whys. Now, imagine observing your reaction as an outsider, acknowledging the surge of emotion but choosing a different response. You take a breath. You pause. In that pause lies your power. The power to choose a response that aligns with your values, not just your instincts. This approach doesn't mean your emotions are invalid or that they should be ignored. Quite the contrary. It means you recognize and respect your feelings without letting them steer your life off course. It's about saying, yes, I feel this anger or anxiety, but I choose not to let it dominate my actions. It's about reclaiming control. One thought, one decision at a time. Think of the last time you faced a stressful situation. Maybe it was a disagreement with a friend, a setback at work, or a financial strain. Reflect on how you reacted. Did your emotions lead to actions you later regretted? Now, let's reimagine that scenario. This time, you channel your inner Stoic. You allow yourself to feel the emotion fully and without judgment. You observe it, understand its source, and then gently but firmly guide it to a place of reason and wisdom. This self-regulation is not about denial, it's about management and transformation. It's turning the heat of anger into the light of understanding. It's transforming the paralysis of fear into the clarity of caution. By mastering our emotions, we don't just endure life's challenges. We thrive amidst them. We turn our emotional energy into fuel for personal growth and achievement. And here's something else. Each time you successfully manage an emotional response, you build a little more resilience, a little more strength. Like a muscle that grows stronger with exercise, your emotional resilience expands with each challenge faced and overcome. You begin to trust in your ability to handle whatever comes your way, not because you are the master of it. So, next time you find yourself in the whirlwind of emotional turmoil, remember this. You have the tools to calm the storm. You can acknowledge your emotions as natural, but choose actions that are rational. Embrace the Stoic wisdom that has empowered countless souls through millennia, not as a suppression of emotion, but as a transformation of it. Harness it. Mold it and let it elevate you to heights you never thought possible. In a world that never sleeps, where the demands on our time and energy are incessant, learning to set boundaries is not just wise, it's essential. Stoicism teaches us the value of self-mastery and inner tranquility, but how often do we sacrifice these for the sake of others? The truth is, without setting firm boundaries, we risk not only our well-being, but also our ability to pursue what truly matters. Think of your energy as a sacred reserve, a finite source that fuels not only your daily activities, but also your deepest passions and pursuits. When this reserve is depleted by the countless demands of others, be they work commitments, social obligations, or even the subtle pressures of digital media, what's left for you? How can you pursue your personal goals or invest in self-care when your energy has been spent on everything but yourself? Setting boundaries is thus not about selfishness, it's about self-preservation. It's about discerning what truly deserves your time and energy, and having the courage to say no to the rest. Stoic philosophy doesn't call us to turn away from the world, but to engage with it on our terms, to ensure that our interactions are intentional and our commitments meaningful. Let me tell you a story about a close friend of mine, someone who always went the extra mile for everyone. She was the first to arrive and the last to leave. The person who volunteered for every project, who never said no. Initially, it seemed like her boundless energy knew no limits, until it did. One day, she confided in me that she felt exhausted, not just physically, but emotionally. She was giving so much to others that she had forgotten to give to herself. After much reflection, inspired partly by the Stoic practice of self-reflection, she began to set boundaries. She started small, by limiting the number of projects she would take on and by carving out time for her hobbies. The change wasn't instant, but over time, she found herself feeling less drained and more fulfilled. She was still generous with her time, but now it was on her terms, ensuring she had enough left for the things that truly enrich her life. How then can we start setting these vital boundaries? It begins with self-awareness. Take a moment to reflect on what parts of your life feel overwhelming or draining. Is it a particular commitment that brings more stress than satisfaction? Or perhaps it's a relationship that demands more than it gives back. Recognizing these drains on your energy is the first step toward setting boundaries. Next, communicate these boundaries clearly and firmly. This doesn't mean being confrontational. Rather, it's about being honest with others about what you can and cannot do, what you are willing to accept and what you are not. It's about teaching others how to treat you by showing them what you value. And finally, enforce these boundaries. It's one thing to set them, it's another to maintain them. This might mean turning down invitations, stepping back from obligations that no longer serve you, or simply learning to prioritize your own needs alongside those of others. This enforcement isn't a one-time act, but a continuous process that requires dedication and commitment. In the tapestry of life, every thread you weave plays a part in the larger picture of your story. Each decision, every action holds the weight of potential outcomes, and understanding this is pivotal. In the world of Stoicism, there is a profound emphasis on the concept of taking responsibility, not just in our actions but also in our reactions. The Stoic philosophers taught that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we have absolute power over how we respond. This doctrine isn't just about accountability, it's about empowerment. Let's delve into a narrative that perhaps we've all lived in one way or another. Picture yourself working on a project that's close to your heart. You've poured in hours, days, maybe even months of effort. But despite your dedication, things go awry. It's a familiar scenario, isn't it? Maybe the results fell short of expectations, or an unforeseen issue threw everything off course. It's in moments like these that your character is tested. Do you look outward, casting blame on circumstances or others? Or do you look inward, assessing what part you played in the outcome? I remember a time when I faced a similar situation. It was a project I believed in deeply, and initially, when it didn't pan out, my first instinct was to blame external factors. The timing was off, the resources were insufficient, the support wasn't adequate. But upon reflection, a fundamental Stoic practice, I realized that these were elements I could have anticipated, perhaps even mitigated. Acknowledging that I had missed these signs was tough. It's not easy to admit our oversights. However, this admission was a turning point. It shifted my perspective from one of blame to one of learning. I asked myself, what can this teach me? Instead of, why did this happen to me? This shift is crucial. It transforms moments of failure into opportunities for growth. When you take responsibility for your actions, you move from a passive state where life happens to you to an active state where you happen to life. You start to see every challenge as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. This doesn't mean you won't encounter frustrations or disappointments, but instead of allowing them to defeat you, you use them as fuel to forge ahead, to refine your strategies and to strengthen your resolve. Taking responsibility might sound daunting, but it begins with simple, everyday decisions. Start by owning your choices, both big and small. Did a conversation not go as planned? Reflect on your words and consider how different approaches might yield different results. Was a goal not achieved? Evaluate your methods and determine what adjustments are necessary to succeed next time. Each act of responsibility reinforces your agency and your capacity to influence your destiny. And remember, taking responsibility is not about shouldering a burden of guilt. It's about embracing a position of control. It's about saying, here is where I can do better, not here is where I failed. The Stoics believed in focusing on efforts, not outcomes, and in finding value in every experience, positive or negative. In the relentless pursuit of our goals, we often become our own harshest critics. It's easy to spiral into self-doubt and criticism when things don't go according to plan. But what if I told you that the secret to sustained success and inner peace lies not in constant self-critique, but in practicing self-compassion? This isn't just about being kind to yourself. It's about acknowledging your struggles, accepting your imperfections, and still choosing to nurture your spirit, much like the Stoics, who emphasized understanding and managing our own perceptions and reactions. Consider the times you faced setbacks or failures. Think about how you responded. Did you berate yourself, or did you take a moment to offer yourself understanding and grace? The journey to achieving anything significant is often riddled with obstacles and setbacks. It's how you speak to yourself in these moments that can either forge a path forward or create a barrier that is hard to break. I remember once, after a particularly challenging project, I found myself caught in a storm of self-criticism. I had worked tirelessly, yet the outcome was far from what I had hoped for. Initially, my inner dialogue was harsh, filled with messages of failure and self-doubt. But then I paused. I realized that if a friend had come to me with the same story, I would have offered words of encouragement and support, not criticism. Why, then, was I not offering the same to myself? Self-compassion is this shift in dialogue. It's treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. The Stoics teach us not to be disturbed by events, but by our perception of these events. By practicing self-compassion, you alter your perception of your experiences from negative to nurturing. This doesn't mean shying away from responsibility or ignoring your mistakes. Instead, it means accepting your imperfections, learning from them, and moving forward without the heavy baggage of self-judgment. Practicing self-compassion starts with recognizing your humanity. Understand that to err is human, to struggle is part of growth. When you make a mistake, instead of diving into a sea of self-criticism, ask yourself, what can this teach me? Use setbacks as learning points, not as anchors that pull you down. Another step is to be mindful of your inner critic. Listen to the voices in your head and challenge them. Are they fair? Are they helpful? Would you say them to someone else? If not, it's time to reframe them. Replace critical thoughts with supportive, compassionate ones. This shift not only changes how you view yourself, but also how you interact with the world. Moreover, make self-compassion a regular practice. Just like physical exercise strengthens the body, regular moments of self-compassion strengthen your mental and emotional resilience. Set aside time to reflect on your day. Focus on what you did well and where you could improve, always through a lens of compassion. Embracing self-compassion means breaking free from the confines of self-doubt and adopting a more forgiving, understanding approach to personal challenges. It allows you to celebrate small victories while constructively learning from the losses. With self-compassion, you are not just surviving, you are thriving, learning to sail smoothly on the rough seas of life. In a world that constantly changes, the ability to keep learning and evolving is not just a skill, it's a necessity. Imagine navigating life's vast ocean with the relentless spirit of a voyager, one who knows that behind every horizon lies new knowledge and endless possibilities. This is the essence of mental strength, a perpetual thirst for growth, a deep-seated resolve to never stand still. It's about embracing the Stoic belief that life is a teacher and every experience a lesson. Remember, the path to self-improvement isn't paved with dramatic breakthroughs, but with continuous small steps of progress. Each step is a piece in the puzzle of who you are and who you might become. Think about the last time you learned something new, how it felt, the excitement, and sometimes the frustration. Did it change the way you think? Did it inspire you to explore further? This is the power of learning. It transforms your mind, expands your horizons, and reshapes your world. Let me share a personal story that illustrates this transformative power of continuous learning. A few years ago, I decided to delve into the art of photography. At first, it was merely a hobby, a way to capture moments of beauty. But as I learned more about the techniques, the history, and the stories behind each image, photography became more than just a pastime. It became a new lens through which I viewed the world. It taught me about light and shadow, about perspective, and most importantly, about the details that we often overlook. Each photograph became a lesson in patience and observation, and each lesson enhanced not just my skills with the camera, but my skills in life. To never stop learning is to maintain a state of readiness, to be adaptable in the face of change, and to always be prepared to seize new opportunity. It's about being curious and allowing that curiosity to propel you forward. Ask questions, seek answers, and challenge yourself to step outside your comfort zone. Whether it's picking up a new book, starting a new course, or simply exploring a new hobby, every new venture is a step toward becoming a more rounded, enlightened individual. Embracing continuous learning also means acknowledging that we never fully arrive. There is always something more to know, some new skill to acquire. This might seem daunting, but within this realization lies true freedom. The freedom to reinvent oneself, to innovate, and to pivot without fear of the unknown. Stoicism teaches us not to fear failure, but to use it as a catalyst for growth. So when faced with challenges, don't shy away, dive deeper, learn from them, and emerge stronger. Moreover, make this journey of learning a shared one. Engage with others who are on their own paths of discovery. Exchange ideas, debate theories, and collaborate on projects. These interactions not only enrich your learning experience, but also build a community of like-minded individuals who support and inspire each other. Remember that the goal is not just to accumulate information, but to understand deeply, to apply wisely, and to live fully. So, I urge you, keep pushing the boundaries of what you know. Keep challenging the limits of what you can do. After all, in the words of the great philosopher Seneca, as long as you live, keep learning how to live. In a world that never sleeps, where every moment is documented and shared, there's a profound power hidden in silence and obscurity. It might seem counterintuitive, but sometimes the best way to truly connect with ourselves and forge a path forward is by stepping back from the limelight. This isn't just about taking a break. It's about strategically withdrawing from the noise to build something extraordinary in the shadows. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has surged back into relevance, teaches us the value of internal focus and resilience. By embracing periods of silence, we align more closely with our goals, shield ourselves from the distractions of external approval, and prepare ourselves for a transformation that's deeply rooted and genuinely impactful. Today, we're going to explore how disappearing isn't just for magicians or the introverted. It's a deliberate, powerful strategy that can lead to incredible personal growth and clarity. Whether you're looking to reinvent yourself, focus on a new goal, or simply find peace in a turbulent world, the lessons we delve into today will show you how turning down the volume of the world helps us to amplify our inner voice. Join me as we unpack the art of vanishing, not from the world, but into ourselves, and how this Stoic practice can lead to a life of contentment and achievement far beyond what the eye can see. If you appreciate this deep dive into transforming your life with Stoic wisdom, a simple favor I ask is to hit the subscribe button. And please, don't skip any part of the video to ensure you get the full breadth of insights we're going to explore together. Let's get started. First off, let's talk about silence. Silence is not just golden, it's transformative. Embracing quietude is more than merely refraining from speech. It's about choosing what to share and with whom, very carefully. In our everyday interactions, it's incredibly easy to fall into the trap of oversharing. From the mundane details of our daily routines to our loftiest aspirations. However, when we broadcast every aspect of our lives, we open ourselves up to external influences that can cloud our judgment and sway our direction. By keeping certain details to ourselves, we maintain control over our narrative and protect our mental space from noise and clutter. This approach is deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, which values the power of self-mastery and control. Stoics believe that true freedom comes from within, and that managing our perceptions and reactions can lead to profound peace and effectiveness. So, when you choose to hold back from sharing every detail of your life, you're not just avoiding gossip or the potential misinterpretation of your words. You're also making a strategic decision to keep your focus sharp and your intentions pure. This selective sharing helps to fortify your goals against the fluctuations of public opinion and keeps you anchored to your true purpose. It's about crafting a life that aligns with your deepest values, not one that's continuously reshaped by every passing comment or criticism. The Stoics teach us that true strength and freedom come from within. This means valuing our own opinions and judgments above those of others, not out of arrogance, but as a form of self-respect and self-sufficiency. It's about assessing ourselves through our internal lens and criteria, not through the fluctuating and often unreliable external feedback loop. Why is this important? When we depend too heavily on the approval or disapproval of others, we become like leaves in the wind, unstable and reactive to every gust. By anchoring our self-worth in our own reasoned judgments, we cultivate a stable core. This stability is what allows us to navigate life's challenges with equanimity and focus. We begin to act not out of a desire to please or conform, but from a deep, consistent place of personal integrity and understanding. This doesn't mean we disregard the feelings or opinions of others. Rather, we weigh them against our values and reason. Stoicism doesn't advocate for emotional coldness, but recommends a judicious balance, where we listen to others yet are not swayed unless their reasoning aligns with our deeply held beliefs and values. It's about creating a mental fortress where the only opinions that breach the walls are those that have been scrutinized and found beneficial to our growth and well-being. Prioritizing self-assessment helps to mute the external noise that often clouds our judgments. This clarity is liberating. It frees up mental energy that was once consumed by worrying about how others perceive us, allowing us to focus more fully on our goals and actions. It fosters a sense of authentic living that is incredibly rewarding because each step you take is aligned with your true self. In a world where sharing every detail of our lives has become the norm, there is tremendous power in secrecy, especially when you're embarking on significant personal or professional projects. The Stoic philosophy advocates for action over proclamation, teaching us that true merit lies in what we accomplish, not in what we promise. Keeping your plans close to your chest is not about fostering a mysterious persona. It's about protecting your focus and energy. Every time details of your ambitions leak out, it's like small cracks forming in the foundation of your intent. Each crack might seem minor, but collectively, they can significantly weaken your resolve and distract from your purpose. When others are aware of your intentions, it opens the door for external opinions, doubts, and even sabotage, whether intentional or subconscious. Moreover, secrecy amplifies your commitment to your goals. By not broadcasting your plans, you avoid the premature satisfaction that public acknowledgement can bring. Studies have shown that when we announce our goals, we are often rewarded with premature praise that can diminish our motivation to see the plan through to completion. Stoicism teaches us to derive satisfaction from the act of doing and the personal fulfillment of seeing results, rather than from the accolades that might come from simply stating intentions. Additionally, keeping plans to yourself aligns with the Stoic practice of focusing on internal validation rather than external approval. It encourages a reflective and deliberate approach to your ambitions. You become more thoughtful in your actions and decisions because you are not influenced by the immediate reactions of others. This inward focus is crucial for deep, meaningful progress and aligns with the Stoic ideal of self-sufficiency. Whether you're advancing in your personal development, experiencing financial gains, or enhancing a skill, the journey you're on is deeply personal and inherently valuable. In the Stoic philosophy, progress is not a means to an end, but an end in itself. The true value lies not in the accolades or recognition that may come from your achievements, but in the personal growth and the virtues you develop along the way. Revealing your progress can inadvertently open the floodgates to external influences that might skew your perception or dilute your focus. For instance, sharing your achievements can sometimes lead to envy or unwanted attention from others. While some may offer genuine praise, others might project their insecurities or competitiveness, which can create an environment filled with negative energy and potential distractions. This is why Stoicism teaches us to appreciate and protect our inner peace and progress from the potentially corrosive effects of public scrutiny. Moreover, keeping your progress private allows you to savor your achievements without the external pressure of living up to others' expectations. It helps maintain that crucial internal validation where you measure success by your standards and growth rather than by the applause or approval of others. This self-referential approach is not only liberating, but also aligns with the Stoic ideal of self-sufficiency and resilience. You become less dependent on external validation and more focused on the intrinsic rewards of your efforts. Additionally, privacy in your progress nurtures a reflective and humble approach to personal growth. It encourages you to continually look inward, assess your development, and make adjustments based on your self-evaluation rather than external feedback. This introspection is a vital component of Stoic practice, fostering a deeper connection with your core self and ensuring that your advancements are both meaningful and aligned with your ultimate life goals. Inevitably, along your journey, you'll encounter setbacks and challenges. How you deal with these can fundamentally shape your path forward. The Stoic philosophy offers a powerful perspective here. Embrace your failures privately. This isn't about hiding your struggles out of shame or fear of judgment. It's about understanding and utilizing these experiences as vital ingredients for growth. Stoicism teaches us to see every obstacle as an opportunity to practice virtues such as resilience, courage, and persistence. By handling your struggles internally, you turn inward to reflect on these experiences deeply. This private contemplation allows you to extract valuable lessons without the external noise of pity or unsolicited advice. When you deal with your failures in solitude, you are not distracted by having to defend your actions or by the need to maintain a certain image. Instead, you can honestly assess what went wrong and why, which empowers you to make more informed and deliberate choices in the future. Moreover, embracing failures privately aligns with the Stoic idea of focusing on what you can control. You might not be able to control the outcome of every endeavor, but you can control your reactions and your mindset when setbacks occur. Instead of looking outward for validation or commiseration, look inward. Ask yourself what this failure teaches you, how it can contribute to your character, and how it can refine your strategies moving forward. This internal processing of failures builds mental toughness and independence, qualities that are essential for anyone striving to lead a life governed by Stoic principles. It strengthens your resolve as you come to realize that your path is yours to shape, regardless of external circumstances. Each failure, when embraced silently and wisely, builds a layer of resilience and fortitude, equipping you better for future challenges. As you step into the silence, the first task is to crystallize your objectives. What do you aim to accomplish in this period of intentional quietude? Setting clear, tangible goals is not merely an exercise in thought. It's an essential part of the journey towards self-improvement and true personal transformation. Whether your focus is on learning a new language, enhancing your physical health, or launching a new venture, the specificity of your goals will serve as your North Star, guiding every step you take. Stoicism teaches us that the path to virtue and inner peace is paved with purposeful action. The Stoics didn't just endure life's challenges, they actively sought to overcome them by setting clear, actionable. This philosophy underscores the importance of having a well-defined target. Knowing precisely what you want to achieve gives your actions direction and meaning. It turns abstract aspirations into concrete plans, making them more attainable. Moreover, having a specific goal in mind allows you to measure your progress accurately. This measurement isn't just about reaching milestones, but about reflecting on the growth that each step brings. Every small achievement on the way to your larger goal is a testament to your commitment and a chance to cultivate virtues like discipline, perseverance, and resilience, key tenets of Stoic thought. When you pick a target, you're doing more than just setting a goal. You're mapping out a pathway for your personal evolution. This targeted approach ensures that every effort you make and every hour you spend is infused with purpose. It aligns perfectly with the Stoic belief in living deliberately. In the quiet solitude of your disappearance from the noise of the world, your clear, focused goals become beacons of light, keeping you oriented and motivated, no matter the obstacles you face. Once you have set your sights on a clear target, the next step is to align every aspect of your life with achieving that goal. This isn't just about occasional effort. It involves a fundamental restructuring of your daily life to make your ambitions not merely an aspect of your life, but the core of it. If your goal is to enhance your fitness, consider the practicality of living close to a gym or integrating physical activities into your daily routine that reinforce this commitment. If it's about acquiring knowledge, transform your living space into a haven of learning filled with books, documentaries, and access to online courses. Stoicism teaches us that discipline is not about restriction, but about aligning our actions with our true values. The Stoics view discipline as a form of self-love, a way to honor oneself by living in accordance with one's principles. By structuring your life around your goals, you practice this high form of self-discipline daily. This isn't just about filling your time with activities that push you toward your goals. It's about crafting a lifestyle that is wholly integrated with your objectives, ensuring that every hour contributes to your broader vision. Effective time management plays a crucial role in this process. It's about prioritizing activities that drive you toward your goal and cutting out the noise and distractions that divert you from your path. This focused dedication is what turns ordinary endeavors into extraordinary achievements. It's about making each day a building block for your success, where no moment is wasted and every action has purpose. Living this way requires a deep commitment and can be challenging, but it is immensely rewarding. As you align more closely with your goals, you'll find that your efforts start to feed into a larger momentum. This isn't just about reaching a destination, it's about becoming the kind of person who achieves these goals. Stoicism doesn't just encourage us to endure, it urges us to transform endurance into a dynamic, purpose-driven way of life. Embracing this lifestyle means more than just adhering to a new routine. It's about fundamentally loving the process of transformation itself, including the discipline and the solitude it entails. Stoicism, with its deep roots in mastering the self, teaches us to cherish the present moment and find contentment within our current circumstances, even as we strive for greater achievements. This mindset shift is essential and profound. It requires you to view each day, each challenge, and each moment of solitude not as hurdles but as opportunities to grow and reinforce your commitment to your goals. Stoicism doesn't merely manage perceptions, it transforms them. It encourages us to see the beauty in the process and the strength in what might often feel like solitary endeavors. By learning to appreciate the quiet moments of effort and reflection, you align more closely with Stoic ideals that value inner peace and resilience over external rewards. Reprogramming your mind also means cultivating a mindset that does not shy away from discomfort. Stoics believe that growth often comes from facing and embracing challenges head-on. In this transformative phase, you learn to derive joy from what might previously have been considered arduous tasks. This reprogramming turns discipline into a source of happiness because you know that each disciplined action takes you one step closer to your goal. Moreover, this new mindset encourages you to live intentionally, focusing on what truly matters and discarding what does not align with your goals. It's about making peace with the fact that while the future holds promise, the present holds the keys to that future. You start to see that true contentment comes not from reaching a distant goal, but from knowing that you are currently exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you need to do. Adopting this Stoic way of thinking reshapes not just your actions, but your entire outlook on life. It shifts your focus from outcomes to the quality of your daily actions. This shift is crucial for genuine, lasting change because it builds a foundation of habits and attitudes that will sustain not just the achievement of one goal, but the continual pursuit of personal excellence. Initially, the idea of disappearing was about retreating from the public eye to focus on self-improvement, away from the distractions and pressures of external expectations. However, as you progress and evolve, you might discover that the need to step back into the spotlight isn't as compelling as you anticipated. This isn't a sign of failure, but a profound realization about the nature of true transformation. Stoicism teaches us that the worth of our actions and our growth should not be measured by external accolades, but by the internal peace and contentment they bring. If you've genuinely transformed, integrating the principles and practices that have reshaped your life, you'll find that the quiet satisfaction of knowing you have evolved into your better self is far more rewarding than any public recognition. This shift in perspective is a hallmark of deep, meaningful change. This process of reappearing then becomes less about making a grand entrance back into society and more about seamlessly integrating your new self into your everyday. It's not a moment of triumph broadcasted to elicit admiration, but a subtle, continuous expression of the new principles and insights that now guide your life. Your transformation becomes visible not through explicit displays, but through the quality of your actions and the serenity of your demeanor. Moreover, Stoicism reminds us that external recognition is fleeting. Today's accolades can easily become tomorrow's forgotten news. What remains, what endures, is the sense of fulfillment and self-contentment from knowing you live true to your values and capabilities. This enduring contentment becomes the true reward for your efforts, far surpassing the ephemeral satisfaction of external validation. Therefore, as you consider reappearing, remember that your transformation is an ongoing process. You are forever changed, not just for a moment, but for a continuous journey of self-evolution. Each day presents a new opportunity to live out the truths you've embraced. The need to reappear should never overshadow the greater need to remain authentic to your transformed self, living out the Stoic virtues of wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation. Have you ever felt utterly overwhelmed by the noise around you, the endless stream of opinions, expectations, and the relentless pressure of keeping up? Imagine this. Ancient Stoic philosophers over 2,000 years ago faced the same human emotions, struggles, and questions about identity and purpose that we grapple with today. It's fascinating, isn't it, that the wisdom from centuries past still holds profound relevance in our modern, fast-paced world. Today, we're diving deep into the Stoic way of life, uncovering timeless truths that can help us navigate the chaos of the 21st century with grace, resilience, and profound inner peace. Whether you're struggling with stress, seeking meaning, or simply curious about a philosophical approach to life that has stood the test of time, you're in the right place. Together we'll explore how Stoicism isn't just a set of ideas, but a practical guide to living more fully, authentically, and serenely. And if you're eager to embark on this journey of self-discovery and timeless wisdom with us, please hit that subscribe button. And remember, every part of this video is crafted with you in mind, so don't skip any section. Each moment is a step towards a more stoic, resilient you. Isn't it curious how, at some point in our lives, we find ourselves entangled in the web of others' opinions? We often surrender our peace of mind and happiness trying to fit into the molds others create for us. But let's pause for a moment and delve into ancient Stoic wisdom. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the futility of seeking external approval. He urges us to question this innate desire to please others, challenging us to break free from the chains of external validation. It's a liberating thought, isn't it? To realize that the only approval you truly need is your own. Now, think about it. When you lay your head on your pillow at night, it's your thoughts you're left with, not others. So why not make those thoughts about your true self, your values, and your actions? Imagine the freedom of being unapologetically you, not swayed by fleeting opinions or the latest trends. But how do we start caring less about people's opinions? It begins with understanding and reaffirming your values. What do you stand for? What matters most to you? When your actions are in harmony with your beliefs, there's a profound sense of peace and authenticity that no amount of external approval can match. Moreover, embracing your uniqueness attracts the right kind of people into your life. Those who appreciate you for who you genuinely are, not for who they want you to be. It's about quality, not quantity. Having a few meaningful relationships based on mutual respect and understanding is infinitely more fulfilling than seeking the fleeting approval of the masses. It's crucial to remember that people's opinions are just that, opinions. They are subjective, variable, and often more reflective of the person expressing them than of you. As Marcus Aurelius wisely points out, the only constant and true validation comes from within, from living a life aligned with your values and principles. When we talk about being honest, it's easy to default to the idea of not lying to others. But Stoicism invites us to explore honesty on a much deeper level. It's about aligning our external actions and words with our internal values and beliefs. This alignment fosters a profound sense of integrity and wholeness. Imagine the peace that comes from knowing your actions are not just surface-level performances, but true reflections of your inner self. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, really hammers this point home. He suggests that honesty doesn't just make moral sense, it makes practical sense. Think about it. Deceit requires us to remember our lies, cover our tracks, and live in constant fear of being found out. It's mentally exhausting. Honesty, on the other hand, is simple and liberating. It frees us from the tangled web of deceit and allows us to live with ease and clarity. But here's the real kicker. Honesty affects not only our relationship with others, but also with ourselves. When we are honest with ourselves about our strengths, our flaws, and our desires, we pave the way for genuine growth and self-acceptance. It's like clearing out the clutter in our minds to make room for more peace, more understanding, and more authentic connections with the people around us. And yet, embracing honesty is not always easy. It requires courage and vulnerability. It means sometimes admitting we were wrong, facing our mistakes, and dealing with the consequences of our actions. But the reward, trust, respect, and a clear conscience is immeasurably worth it. So how can we cultivate this virtue in our daily lives? It starts with small steps. Practice transparency in your interactions. Reflect on your day and acknowledge moments where you might not have been entirely honest. Ask yourself why and how you can improve. Remember, it's a journey, and every step toward honesty is a step toward a more serene and meaningful life. We've all felt that sting, that immediate reaction when someone's words or actions seem to hit us right where it hurts. Seneca, with his profound understanding of human nature, reminds us to look beyond the surface. He suggests that when someone acts in a way that we find hurtful or offensive, it's often not really about us at all. People act based on their perceptions, their struggles, and their history. It's like everyone is moving through the world wearing a unique pair of glasses that color how they see everything around them, including us. Now, think about a time when you might have snapped at someone or acted in a way that wasn't really you. chances are you were dealing with something else entirely. Stress, fear, insecurity, or maybe you were just having a really bad day. Now, if we can recognize this in ourselves, why not extend that same understanding to others? This perspective shift, which Seneca advocates, is about empathy, but it's also about self-preservation. When we stop taking things personally, we detach ourselves from the unnecessary pain that comes with believing everyone's actions are about us. It's like setting down a heavy burden we've been carrying around. Suddenly, we can breathe, move, and live more freely. But how do we actually do this? How do we stop taking things personally, especially when our emotions are already flared up? It starts with a pause. When you feel that rush of hurt or anger, just pause, take a breath. Remind yourself of Seneca's words. This might not be about me at all. This simple act of pausing can prevent a reactive spiral and give you space to choose a more reasoned response. It's also about building resilience and understanding. The more we remind ourselves that we don't have the full picture of what someone else is going through, the less likely we are to be wounded by their actions or words. And when we do get hurt, because it will happen, we can treat it as a practice ground for our Stoic principles. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can it help me grow? In embracing this Stoic approach, we not only protect our peace of mind, but also open ourselves up to more compassionate and meaningful interactions. We become less reactive, more understanding, and, in a way, more connected to the humanity in everyone we meet. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about patience. He saw it not just as a passive waiting, but as an active engagement with the present moment, whatever it may hold. To him, being patient was akin to donning armor against the trials of life, transforming potential irritants into lessons of endurance and calm. Think about it. When you're stuck in traffic, there's a kind of freedom in accepting that you can't move faster than the cars in front of you. It's an opportunity to listen to your favorite music, an audiobook, or simply to your own thoughts. This shift doesn't change the traffic, but it changes how you experience it, turning a frustrating wait into a moment of peace or even enjoyment. Similarly, when dealing with a challenging person, imagine if, instead of reacting with irritation or anger, you responded with patience. You give yourself a moment to understand where they're coming from, to recognize that their behavior is more about their own struggles than anything else. This doesn't mean you accept bad behavior, but you respond to it with composure and thoughtfulness, which often diffuses tension and leads to better outcomes for everyone involved. Patience, in the Stoic sense, is about embracing the moment rather than fighting against it. It's about seeing the delay, the annoyance, or the obstacle as part of the path, not a deviation from it. Every moment of impatience is a chance to practice, to deepen your understanding of Stoicism, and to cultivate a serene mind. But how can we cultivate this patience in our everyday lives? It starts with awareness. Recognize when impatience is starting to bubble up inside you. Then pause. Take a deep breath. Remember Marcus Aurelius and the countless others who have faced far greater trials with patience and dignity. Another practical step is to adjust your expectations. Often our impatience stems from things not going according to our plan. But if we remind ourselves that we're not in control of everything, only our response to things, we can set more realistic expectations and find peace in the unfolding of life. However it happens, view each test of patience as an opportunity, not a hurdle. Like a muscle that gets stronger with exercise, your capacity for patience grows every time you choose it over frustration or anger. And the rewards are immense: a calmer mind, less stress, and a reputation as someone who is composed and thoughtful, even in challenging situations. Epictetus knew a thing or two about adversity and integrity. He didn't just lecture about Stoicism in the classroom. He lived it every single day, and he encouraged his students to do the same, to embody their philosophy. It's about making your life a testament to your values, letting your actions speak louder than your words. Imagine the ripple effect you can create by simply living out your principles. When you show kindness, even in difficult situations, others take notice. It might inspire them to act kindly in turn. When you demonstrate integrity, refusing to compromise on your values. It sets a standard for those around you. And when you face adversity with resilience, maintaining a calm and composed demeanor, it can be a beacon of hope for others who are struggling. But how do we actually do this? How do we become an example for others? It starts with self-reflection. Take a moment to consider the values that are truly important to you. What principles do you want to guide your life? Once you have clarity on these, strive to align your actions with your values. It's about making conscious choices every day that reflect who you are and what you stand for. Of course, nobody's perfect. We all have our moments of weakness, our lapses in judgment. But being an example isn't about perfection, it's about striving. It's about making a genuine effort to live according to your ideals, even when it's hard. And when you do slip up, it's about owning your mistakes, learning from them, and moving forward with even greater resolve. Another key aspect of being an example is consistency. It's not just about doing the right thing when it's easy or when people are watching. It's about being consistent in your values, whether you're in the spotlight or alone. This consistency builds trust and respect, and it's what truly sets an example for others. Let's take inspiration from Epictetus and strive to be living embodiments of our philosophy. Whether it's kindness, integrity, resilience, or any other virtue, let's bring it to life in our actions. Remember, you have the power to inspire, to influence, and to make a positive impact on the world around you. Be the change you wish to see, and watch how your example can light the way for others. It seems everywhere we turn, social media, news outlets, even our daily interactions, there's a barrage of negativity, criticism, and yes, the haters. It can be exhausting, but they don't have to dictate your happiness. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about maintaining one's inner peace amidst external turmoil. He spoke of the inner citadel, a fortress within us that no external negativity can breach unless we allow it. This concept is incredibly empowering. Think about it. You have the power to create and maintain a space of peace and calm within you, no matter what storms rage outside. So, how do we tune out the haters and keep our inner citadel secure? First and foremost, it's about recognizing what is and isn't within our control. We can't control what others say or do, the harsh comments they leave, the unkind rumors they spread. But we can control our response. We can choose not to engage, not to internalize their negativity, and not to let it disturb our peace. Another key Stoic strategy is to reflect on the intention behind the negativity. Often those who lash out are struggling with their own issues, insecurities, or pain. Understanding this doesn't excuse their behavior, but it can help us respond with compassion rather than defensiveness or anger. It allows us to see their negativity as their burden, not ours. Practicing mindfulness is also a powerful tool in maintaining our inner citadel. When faced with negativity, take a moment to pause and breathe. Remind yourself that this moment of negativity is just that, a moment. It will pass. You don't have to let it define your day or your mood. By staying present and grounded, you can keep your inner peace intact. It's also helpful to surround yourself with positivity, engage with uplifting content, connect with supportive people, fill your environment with things that bring you joy and peace. Remember, you have the power to curate your own life experience. Choose positivity and let the negativity slide by. Remember that tuning out the haters is not about building walls or becoming indifferent. It's about choosing where to focus your energy and attention. It's about preserving your inner peace and strength so you can face challenges with grace and resilience. Stoicism might seem all about rationality, but there's a big place for love too. Seneca tells us that love isn't just something you feel, it's something you do. It's an active, vibrant energy that you put out into the world, and it has this beautiful boomerang effect. The more love you give, the more you find it coming back to you, often from the most unexpected places. But what does it mean? To be full of love, in a Stoic sense, is about approaching every interaction, every person, with goodwill and benevolence. It's seeing the humanity in everyone, even those who are challenging to deal with. It means wishing well for others, genuinely desiring their happiness and well-being, regardless of how they feel about you. This isn't always easy, especially when faced with negativity or hostility. But it's a powerful stance that can transform not just your own life, but also the lives of those around you. Being full of love also means practicing forgiveness and understanding. Everyone we meet is fighting their own battle, carrying their own burdens. By choosing love and compassion, we lighten their load and our own. We connect on a deeper level, recognizing our shared humanity. Moreover, Stoicism teaches us that love extends beyond just our relationships with people. It's about cultivating a loving relationship with life itself, embracing all its twists and turns with open arms. It's finding joy in the simple things, appreciating the beauty around us, and engaging with the world in a meaningful, positive way. So how can we cultivate this loving, stoic approach to life? Start small. Offer a kind word to a stranger. Show appreciation to your loved ones. Practice gratitude daily. Reflect on your actions and intentions, asking yourself if they're rooted in love and kindness. And when you encounter negativity or unkindness, try to respond with understanding and compassion. Remember, being full of love isn't about being naive or ignoring the harsh realities of the world. It's about choosing to respond to those realities with love rather than fear or anger. It's a courageous, powerful choice that can lead to true contentment and connection. How often do we find ourselves scrolling through social media, looking at someone else's highlight reel, and feeling like we just don't measure up? But here's a Stoic antidote to this pervasive issue. Focus on your own path, your own growth, and your own achievements. The Stoics, with their profound wisdom, teach us that the only comparison worth making is with who we were yesterday, not with someone else today. This idea is so liberating when you really think about it. Imagine freeing yourself from the endless cycle of looking over your shoulder, worrying about what everyone else is doing and feeling inadequate. The Stoics offer us a different perspective. Your journey is yours alone, rich with its own challenges, triumphs, and lessons. By embracing this, you honor your unique path and cultivate a sense of self-worth that isn't reliant on external validation. But how do we put this into practice, especially in a world that constantly urges us to compare and compete? First, it's about becoming mindful of when we're making these comparisons. Notice that twinge of envy or self-doubt when you see someone else's success or happiness. Acknowledge it, and then gently remind yourself, my path is different, and that's okay. Next, actively celebrate your own achievements, no matter how small they may seem. Did you tackle a difficult task at work? Did you show kindness to a stranger? Did you make time for self-care? These are all victories worth acknowledging. By celebrating your own progress, you reinforce the idea that your journey is valid and valuable. Another powerful Stoic practice is reflecting on your personal growth. Take time to look back at where you were a year ago, 5 years ago, or even a decade ago. Recognize the strides you've made, the obstacles you've overcome, and the lessons you've learned. This reflection not only boosts your self-esteem, but also deepens your appreciation for your unique journey. And remember, the Stoics didn't just talk about personal achievements in terms of career success or material gain. They valued wisdom, virtue, resilience, and inner peace. So when you measure your progress, consider these deeper, more meaningful markers of growth. Are you more patient than you used to be? More compassionate? More resilient? These are the kinds of achievements that truly reflect your growth as a person. In the whirlwind of our daily lives, it's so easy to get caught up in the minutiae, the endless to-do lists and the relentless pursuit of our personal goals. But Stoicism, with its profound insights into the human condition, reminds us of what's genuinely important, the connections we share with the people we love. Stoicism might seem like it's all about self-discipline and resilience, but at its heart, it's deeply concerned with community and relationships. The Stoics understood that our time on this earth is precious and not to be taken for granted. They encourage us to live in the present, to appreciate the here and now, and to value the people who add meaning and joy to our lives. But how do we put this into practice, especially when life gets busy and we get distracted? It starts with mindfulness, with making a conscious effort to be present when we're with our loved ones. It means really listening when they speak, engaging with them fully, and showing them through our actions that they matter to us. Expressing gratitude is another key aspect. It's about letting our loved ones know that we appreciate them, not just in grand gestures, but in the everyday small moments that truly define our relationships. A simple thank you, a note of appreciation, or a kind word can mean so much. It acknowledges the value of the other person and the contribution they make to our lives. And then there's expressing love, which can be done in countless ways, tailored to the individual and the relationship. It might be spending quality time together, offering support during challenging times, or sharing joys and successes. Love, in the Stoic sense, is active and engaged. It's about showing up for people, being there in the moments that matter. Making time for our loved ones is perhaps the most crucial part. In our busy lives, it's all too easy to let relationships slide, to assume that people will always be there. But the Stoic reminder of the impermanence of life urges us to prioritize our relationships, to carve out time for those who matter most, even when it feels like there are a million other things demanding our attention. Cherishing our loved ones is about recognizing the irreplaceable role they play in our lives and honoring that with our time, our attention, and our affection. It's about building and nurturing those bonds, knowing that they are the true source of richness and meaning in our lives. Remember that the journey of life is one we share with those we hold dear. Cherish every moment, embrace every opportunity to show love, and never underestimate the power of presence. Every single day, we're faced with moments that test our patience and rattle our calm. Whether it's a traffic jam when you're already late, a coworker's irritating habits, or your phone battery dying in the middle of an important call, life seems full of these little battles. It's not just about these minor irritations, though. It's about how we respond to them that shapes our days and, ultimately, our lives. It's important to remember that everyone feels angry sometimes. It's part of being human. But here's where Stoicism steps in with its profound wisdom. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. This is pivotal in transforming our relationship with anger. Think about it. When something goes wrong or someone frustrates us, our first instinct might be to react with anger. But what if, instead, we paused and considered this reaction? Stoicism encourages us to see these moments as opportunities to practice virtues like patience, understanding, and resilience. By acknowledging anger as a natural emotion, we set the stage for learning how to handle it more effectively. The Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius often discuss the concept of not being swayed by external events, but instead focusing on our internal responses. They believe that our emotions, including anger, come from our judgments about events, not the events themselves. So, when we feel angry, it's often because we're placing a particular value or judgment on what's happened. This understanding opens up a powerful opportunity for us. Each time we feel anger rising, we can ask ourselves, what judgment am I making about this situation? Is there another way to view it? This is not about suppressing or denying your anger. It's about understanding it. By getting to the root of what triggers our anger, we can start to change our responses. For instance, if you get cut off in traffic and feel the anger bubbling up, recognize this as a chance to examine why you react this way. Is it really the action of the other driver, or is it your belief that your route should be obstacle-free? Moreover, acknowledging anger helps us empathize with others who might also struggle with their emotions. This empathy can deepen our connections and improve our interactions. It's about compassion, both for ourselves and for others, as we navigate the complexities of human emotions. This idea is at the heart of Stoic philosophy and is incredibly liberating once you truly grasp it. Think about it. So much of our frustration and anger stems from situations or people we simply can't change, no matter how much we might want to. The Stoics, like the wise Marcus Aurelius, taught that the real power lies in recognizing the difference between what we can control and what we can't. You control your thoughts, your decisions, and your actions. That's it. Everything else is more or less out of your hands. Other people's actions, the weather, the past, and much of the future. But here's where it gets interesting. By focusing on our own reactions and attitudes, we reclaim a tremendous amount of power. Instead of wasting energy on the uncontrollable, we invest it in what we can actually influence. Let's make it practical. Say you're working on a group project and someone isn't pulling their weight. It's easy to get frustrated, right? You might even feel your temper rising, but ask yourself, what part of this situation can I actually control? You can't make your teammate work harder, but you can control how you respond to the challenge. Maybe it's a conversation about expectations, or perhaps it's reallocating work within the group. By shifting your focus like this, you not only reduce your own stress, but also open up more constructive ways to address the problem. Another aspect of this Stoic principle is accepting that some things are just beyond our control. This acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It means understanding where our power truly lies. It's about not letting external events dictate your peace of mind. For instance, if you're stuck in traffic and getting irritated because you're going to be late, pause and think, can I control the traffic? No. But what can you control? Your reaction. Maybe you turn on an audiobook or some calming music, or use the time to think through your day. The beauty of focusing on what you can control is that it gradually builds a stronger, more resilient mindset. Over time, you'll find yourself less shaken by life's ups and downs because you know where your responsibilities lie and where they don't. This isn't about suppressing your feelings, but about channeling your energies more productively. It's about being fully present in the moment, aware of where we are and what we're doing, without being overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's going on around us. This aligns beautifully with Stoic teachings, which emphasize awareness of our thoughts and actions and maintaining control over our reactions to external circumstances. So why practice mindfulness? Because it helps us to pause between our experiences and our reactions to them. By becoming more mindful, we can choose responses that align with our values and goals instead of getting swept away by emotions. For example, when someone says something that upsets you, instead of immediately reacting or snapping back, mindfulness allows you to take a step back. You notice your emotional surge, but choose to observe it passively, without acting on it immediately. This space that mindfulness creates is not just calming, it's empowering. It gives you the chance to choose a response that you won't regret later. Let's talk about how to incorporate mindfulness into daily life, because it sounds great in theory, but it's in the practice that the real magic happens. One simple technique is to focus on your breathing. When you find yourself feeling anxious or angry, take a moment to concentrate on deep, slow breaths. This focus pulls your mind away from the triggers of stress or anger and brings you back to what you can control, your breath. Another practical method is what I like to call mindful observation. Choose an ordinary task or moment, like drinking a cup of coffee. Focus all your senses on this experience. Notice the aroma, the heat of the cup in your hands, the taste. This practice of engaging fully with the present moment can transform an ordinary experience into a richer, more textured moment. What's fascinating about this is that it trains your brain to apply the same level of awareness to more challenging situations. When anger or frustration arises, you'll be better equipped to handle it with the same focus and calm. Stoicism also teaches us about the impermanence of our experiences. Nothing lasts forever, not even our emotions. Mindfulness complements this by helping us to experience our feelings without judgment. Acknowledge that you're angry, recognize it, but also remind yourself that this anger is just a passing state. It's not who you are, and it doesn't control you, unless you let it. The idea that everything changes and nothing lasts forever is a universal truth that can help us navigate life's ups and downs with more grace and less frustration. It's about understanding that our circumstances, emotions, and even our thoughts are constantly in flux, and learning to embrace this constant state of change rather than resisting it. Think about how often we get upset because things didn't go as planned. Maybe it was a job promotion that didn't come through, a relationship that ended unexpectedly, or a sudden change in our health. Our first reaction might be to resist these changes, to get angry or sad. But Stoicism invites us to look at these situations differently, through the lens of impermanence. When we truly grasp that nothing is permanent, we start to realize that our anger or disappointment is also temporary. This doesn't diminish the importance of our feelings, but gives us a more balanced perspective on them. Embracing impermanence allows us to live more in the present and worry less about the past and the future. If you know that everything is temporary, you begin to appreciate your experiences and the people around you more deeply. You don't take things for granted because you're aware that circumstances can change at any moment. This awareness can be incredibly freeing. It reduces the sting of negative events and enhances the joy of positive ones. Now, how do we practice accepting impermanence in daily life? Start by reflecting on the transient nature of your surroundings and experiences. For example, watch how the seasons change. Observe how your feelings shift throughout the day, or how your relationships evolve over time. These observations can be reminders that change is the only constant. Another way to integrate this into your life is by adjusting how you respond to disruptions or unexpected changes. Instead of reacting with frustration when something doesn't go your way, take a moment to acknowledge that this change is part of a bigger flow of life. It's an opportunity to adapt and grow. Think about a time when something didn't work out as you had hoped, and then something better came along. Often, it's only in hindsight that we see how these changes were beneficial. Stoicism doesn't just ask us to accept impermanence, it encourages us to find strength in it. Each change and ending is a chance to practice resilience and flexibility. By fostering this mindset, we not only cope with life's challenges more effectively, but also learn to move through them with a sense of peace and anticipation for what's next. The Stoics believe that becoming aware of the root causes of our emotions could lead to greater self-mastery. When we understand our emotions, we are better equipped to respond to life's challenges in ways that are aligned with our values and goals, rather than simply reacting out of habit or impulse. Every emotion we experience, whether it's anger, joy, sadness, or fear, is triggered by our perception. For example, if you feel angry when someone interrupts you while speaking, it's worth exploring why. Is it because you feel disrespected? Or perhaps it reflects a deeper insecurity about your voice being heard. By digging into these questions, you can begin to understand not just your reactions, but also the beliefs and values that underlie them. This understanding is crucial because it gives you the opportunity to change your perceptions and consequently the way you feel. Stoicism teaches us that our emotions are predicated on our judgments. The good news is that judgments can be examined and changed. So when you feel a strong emotion, try to step back and ask yourself, What am I believing right now? Is this belief true? Is it helpful? This kind of questioning can be very powerful. It allows you to shift your perspective and choose a different emotional response, one that serves you better. For instance, if you're feeling anxious about a work presentation, it might be because you believe that you must perform perfectly in order to be respected. But is this really true? Likely, your colleagues value your effort and sincerity more than perfection. Recognizing this can alleviate some of your anxiety and help you approach the situation with more calmness and confidence. Practically speaking, journaling can be an incredibly effective tool for understanding your emotions. By writing down what you feel and exploring why you feel it, you can uncover patterns and triggers that you might not be aware of otherwise. This reflection not only helps in the moment, but also builds a sort of emotional intelligence over time that can make you more resilient and adaptable. Another approach is to discuss your feelings with someone you trust, a friend, a family member, or a mentor. Speaking about your emotions can provide new insights and perspectives that you might not have considered. It's often through dialogue that we come to new understandings about ourselves and our relationships. Embracing the Stoic approach to emotions isn't about suppressing what you feel. On the contrary, it's about engaging with your emotions in a proactive and reflective way. It's about taking control of the narrative of your inner life. By understanding your emotions, you're not just reacting to the world, you're actively shaping your experience of it. Stoicism teaches us the value of patience, not just as a way to endure, but as a method to transform our experiences. Patience, according to Stoic philosophy, isn't just about waiting, it's about how we behave while we wait. It's about maintaining our composure and dignity in the face of life's delays and challenges, understanding that these are often outside our control. In our daily lives, we encounter countless situations that can trigger impatience, from a slow-moving line at the grocery store to a traffic jam or a delayed response from a colleague. Our first instinct might be to feel irritated or stressed, but here's where Stoicism comes into play. It encourages us to see these moments as opportunities to practice virtue. Every instance of delay is a chance to exercise patience, to reinforce our ability to stay calm and collected. So, how can we develop patience in practical terms? One effective approach is to adjust our expectations. Often, our impatience stems from a mismatch between our expectations and reality. If we start by acknowledging that delays and obstacles are natural parts of life, we're less likely to get upset when they occur. This doesn't mean lowering our standards, but rather aligning our expectations with the fact that the world won't always operate according to our preferences. Another key method is to use the moments of waiting as opportunities for growth and reflection. If you're stuck in traffic, instead of fuming over the delay, you can turn it into valuable time, listening to an audiobook, practice deep breathing, or simply reflect on your day. This shift in perspective turns a frustrating situation into a productive or relaxing one. Practicing mindfulness is also a powerful ally in developing patience. By being present in the moment and fully engaging with it, we can distance ourselves from the feelings of urgency and restlessness that often accompany waiting. Mindfulness helps us cultivate a peaceful state of mind that buffers us against the stirrings of impatience. Stoicism not only advocates for patience, but also for understanding the impermanence of our current state. Remembering that this too shall pass can help us endure unpleasant situations, whether it's waiting for a delayed flight or enduring a long recovery from an illness. The knowledge that it is temporary makes it more bearable. Finally, celebrating small victories is crucial in developing patience. When you manage to stay calm during a situation that would normally make you impatient, acknowledge and reward yourself for this achievement. This reinforces the behavior and makes it more likely to become a habit. This is one of those transformative experiences that not only changes the way we relate to others, but also profoundly affects our inner peace. Forgiveness in the Stoic sense is not about condoning wrongdoings or forgetting the harm done. It's about freeing ourselves from the emotional burden that comes from carrying grudges. Forgiveness requires a strong sense of self-awareness and control over one's emotions, qualities that Stoics strive to develop. It involves recognizing that our anger and hurt, while natural and valid responses to perceived injustices, are ultimately within our control. This doesn't mean that the process is simple or immediate. Forgiveness can be challenging. It often requires a deliberate, concerted effort to let go of deep-seated feelings of injustice. Consider the power that comes from deciding not to allow someone else's actions to disturb your inner tranquility. This is the essence of Stoic forgiveness. It's about making a conscious choice to not let past actions continually affect your present state of mind. This decision helps you reclaim your emotional energy and focus it on more constructive pursuits that align with your values and goals. Now, how do we start practicing forgiveness in everyday life? It begins with the recognition that all humans are fallible, ourselves included. We all make mistakes, sometimes out of ignorance, sometimes out of malice. Reflecting on our own shortcomings can help us develop empathy towards others, making it easier to forgive. Another Stoic practice is to consider the bigger picture. Often, the things we hold on to are not as significant in the grand scheme of our lives. By focusing on our long-term well-being, which is bolstered by peace and harmony, the immediate sting of grievances can be mitigated. Practicing forgiveness also involves actively reframing our narratives. Instead of viewing yourself as a victim, which can perpetuate feelings of anger and helplessness, try to see yourself as a survivor, or even a hero of your story, one who has overcome challenges and emerged stronger. This shift in perspective not only facilitates forgiveness, but also empowers you in your life's journey. Moreover, engaging in meditation or mindfulness exercises can assist in the process. These practices help calm the mind and provide the space needed to process emotions more rationally and less reactively. As you sit quietly and focus on your breath, allow thoughts of forgiveness to enter your mind. Picture those you feel have wronged you and imagine sending them thoughts of goodwill. This doesn't mean you accept the wrong, but you are choosing to release its hold over you. Finally, it's important to understand that forgiveness is a process, sometimes a lengthy one. It doesn't happen all at once, and that's perfectly okay. Each step towards forgiveness, no matter how small, is a step towards a freer, more emotionally balanced life. At its essence, self-gratrobe allows us to pause before reacting, giving us the time to consider whether our impulses align with our long-term goals. For instance, if you're trying to lead a healthier lifestyle, self-gratrobe is what helps you choose not to eat that late-night junk food. In emotional situations, self-gratrobe helps you hold back a harsh word or an angry reply, preserving relationships and maintaining peace of mind. How can we strengthen this essential skill? One effective Stoic practice is to regularly reflect on our actions and their consequences. This could be as simple as taking a few minutes each evening to think about the choices you made throughout the day. Were there moments when you lacked self-control? What triggered it? Understanding these patterns is the first step towards managing them. Another powerful technique is to set clear personal rules for behavior based on your values. Stoicism teaches us that living according to rational principles is key to a good life. By setting and following your own rules, for example, not checking your phone during meals or limiting time spent on social media, you exercise self-control in ways that directly improve your daily life and well-being. Visualization is another tool that can be incredibly helpful. Before entering a situation where you know you might be tempted to act impulsively, take a moment to visualize yourself handling the situation with calm and restraint. Imagine the satisfaction you'll feel from acting in accordance with your principles. This mental rehearsal can make it much easier to keep your cool in the heat of the moment. It's also beneficial to gradually increase your tolerance for discomfort, which is a big part of what self-control is all about. The Stoics believe that by voluntarily exposing ourselves to discomfort, whether it's cold showers, fasting, or resisting urges, we can strengthen our willpower. These practices teach us that we can endure discomfort and that it's often not as bad as we fear. This realization directly feeds into our ability to exercise self-retreat in more complex emotional or social situations. Lastly, remember that practicing self-control is a journey, not a destination. There will be times when you falter. That's just part of being human. What matters is that you recognize these moments, learn from them, and continue to strive for improvement. Each act of self-control, no matter how small, is a victory in its own right and a step towards becoming a wiser, more balanced person. Every day, we carry invisible weights, habits that drag us down, cloud our minds, and distract us from the truly important things in life. It's time to let go of these burdens and embrace the clarity and focus that comes with a Stoic way of thinking. Let me take a moment to remind you that this journey we're on together is all about transformation. It's about growing, becoming the best version of ourselves, and breaking free from the habits, mindsets, and barriers that have been holding us back. And today, we're tackling a big one, a life-altering topic that can change the course of your future. We're going to explore 4 things you have to stop doing immediately. These aren't just simple mistakes, fleeting bad habits, or temporary setbacks. These are the subtle yet powerful forces that prevent you from reaching your full potential. They block your progress and prevent you from living the life you're capable of living. These habits, if you stop them today, will free you from your past and accelerate you toward your future. I know that each one of us has dreams, goals, and ambitions. Some of those dreams may feel so far out of reach, but I'm here to tell you, they're not. They're waiting for you to step into them. Today, we're going to uncover the 4 things that are keeping you from stepping fully into your power. As we dive into these transformative insights, remember, if you find value in peeling back these layers and discovering new paths to your personal best, hitting that subscribe button helps us bring more of this content to you. It's free, and it ensures you don't miss out on any part of this journey to empowerment. And don't skip any part of the video. Every second is designed to help you grow stronger, more focused, and resilient, just like the Stoics of old. Are you ready to make some significant changes? Let's get started and shed these 4 critical habits for a brighter, more fulfilling tomorrow. You might not realize it, but every time you let a shadow of doubt creep into your thoughts, you're stepping back from the life you're meant to lead. Doubt is sneaky. It's like that quiet voice at a party that keeps whispering, "You're not quite right. You don't really belong. You're just not good enough." But here's a Stoic truth for you. Doubt is only as powerful as the attention you give it. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and to let go of what we can't. Your thoughts? They're yours to shape. Think about the times when doubt has held you back from taking a chance. Maybe it stopped you from applying for that job, asking that question, or starting a new project. Now, imagine what could have unfolded if you had pushed past that doubt. It's all about perception. Stoics like Seneca and Epictetus weren't free from doubt because they were supremely confident. No, they learned to challenge the validity of their doubts and focus on their strengths. Let's break it down. Self-doubt often comes from our fear of failure, of not meeting expectations, ours or someone else's. But what if you viewed potential failure not as a setback, but as a step forward? After all, every attempt, successful or not, teaches us something vital. It's about learning to trust the process, embracing each experience as a part of your growth. Think of doubt as a signal, not a stop sign. It's telling you where you need to focus, where there's room to expand and improve. Now, consider the idea that you are the writer of your own life script. Each time doubt starts scripting stories of fear and failure, grab that pen and rewrite it with stories of strength and resilience. Remember, no great story is complete without challenges. without moments where the hero could have turned back. Yet, it's not the doubts they faced that define their stories, but their decision to keep going despite them. Another Stoic practice to help manage doubt involves preparation and reflection. At the end of each day, take a moment to reflect on your actions and thoughts. Where did doubt creep in? How did you handle it? Could you have managed it differently? This reflection isn't about judging yourself harshly, but about preparing better for future encounters with doubt. The Stoics were big on journaling, using it as a tool to reflect and gain clarity. This doesn't have to be a lengthy process. A few minutes each day can provide profound insights. And while we're discussing insights, let's not overlook the power of visualization, a technique used by Stoics and modern achievers alike. When doubt tells you that you can't, take a moment to visualize yourself succeeding. Picture the steps you'll take, the obstacles you'll overcome, and the success waiting on the other side. Visualization isn't just daydreaming, it's a rehearsal for reality, a way to condition your mind to act beyond doubt. Finally, remember that overcoming doubt is not about never feeling it. That's nearly impossible. It's about not letting it control you. It's about acknowledging its presence, nodding politely, and then moving forward with your actions aligned with your values and goals. Every time you choose action over doubt, you're not just moving closer to your goals, you're also strengthening your Stoic resolve, building a mindset geared toward growth and resilience. So, next time you hear that whisper of doubt, recognize it for what it is, an old habit, not a truth. Challenge it with your new habit of resilience, armed with Stoic wisdom, and watch as you transform not only your actions, but your outcomes. Doubt has only the power to stop you if you let it. Instead, let it be the reason you move forward with more determination, equipped with the wisdom of the Stoics to guide your path. It's incredibly easy to fall into the trap of looking at others and feeling like you're not measuring up. Scroll through any social media platform for a few minutes, and you might find yourself feeling as though everyone else's life is more exciting, more successful, or simply happier than yours. But here's something crucial to remember. What you're seeing is a curated display, not the full story. This comparison game is not just misleading, it's harmful. It skews our perception of our own lives and can make us feel inadequate without just cause. Stoicism teaches us a valuable lesson here. Focus on what affects your own progress and virtues, not the apparent successes of others. Imagine if Marcus Aurelius, Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, had wasted his time comparing his reign or philosophical writings to those of his predecessors or neighboring rulers. Instead, he focused on his own duties and the wisdom he could cultivate from his experiences. By centering on our own journey, we embrace the Stoic principle of controlling only what is within our power, our actions, reactions, and personal growth. When you catch yourself comparing your journey to someone else's highlight reel, try to redirect that energy. Think about your own achievements and the obstacles you've overcome. Each person's life is a complex tapestry of experiences, challenges, and triumphs. By comparing, we reduce this rich complexity to a simple, often inaccurate scoreboard. More importantly, we risk overshadowing our own experiences and undervaluing our unique paths. Moreover, Stoicism encourages us to use comparison, if at all, only as a tool for self-improvement, not as a measure of self-worth. For instance, instead of feeling envious of a friend's new job, use that moment to reflect on your own career goals and the steps you can take to achieve them. This turns a potentially negative comparison into a constructive plan for personal progress. It's about transforming envy into inspiration. Reflect on this. The only true comparison that brings value is the one you make with yourself. Where you were yesterday versus where you are today. Are you kinder, more knowledgeable, or more disciplined? This self-reflection is fundamental in Stoicism. It keeps you grounded in your own progress and focused on what truly matters. Your own development and contentment. Another practical step to lessen the habit of comparing yourself to others is to limit your exposure to the sources of comparison. If social media makes you feel inadequate, adjust how you use it. Follow accounts that inspire and teach rather than those that spark envy. Use these platforms to connect and learn rather than to assess your self-worth. Remember also the Stoic practice of negative visualization. It's about imagining the worst-case scenarios to appreciate what you have. This doesn't mean dwelling on the negative, but rather using it to cultivate gratitude for your present situation. It's a powerful antidote to the dissatisfaction bred by comparison. When you feel thankful for what you have, the achievements of others seem less like a threat and more like shared human potential. Breaking the habit of comparing yourself to others isn't about ignoring the success of those around you. It's about reshaping how you perceive and react to that information. It's about fostering a mindset that values personal growth and inner peace over external validation. This way, you not only adhere to Stoic wisdom, but also create a more fulfilling and contented life for yourself. Remember, in the grand narrative of your life, the only character you're truly responsible for is you. How you develop that character, how you enrich your own story, that's where your focus should be. Carrying the past around is like dragging a suitcase filled with old books you'll never read again. It's heavy, it's exhausting, and it doesn't serve you one bit. We've all got that suitcase. Inside, you'll find our mistakes, our regrets, and those moments when things just didn't go the way we hoped. Now, imagine setting that suitcase down for good. Feels freeing, right? That's what we're talking about today. Letting go of those past burdens to make room for a brighter, lighter future. Stoicism offers a robust framework for dealing with the past. Stoics emphasize living in the present because that's all we truly have control over. The past? It's done. You can't change it, but you can change your perspective on it. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Look back over the past with its changing empires that rose and fell, and you can foresee the future too." What he's suggesting isn't that we dwell on the past, but that we learn from it and then move on, applying those lessons to live better today. Reflecting on the past is only useful to the extent that it teaches us. Beyond that, dwelling on old failures or missed opportunities is a trap. It saps your energy, focusing your mind on scenarios that no longer exist, except in your thoughts. So how do we stop living in the past? Start by acknowledging it. Recognize the things that happened, understand the emotions they stir up, and then practice letting them go. This could be as simple as saying to yourself, "Yes, that happened. It hurt, but I am no longer in that moment. I am here now." Another Stoic practice that can help is the discipline of assent, which involves consciously choosing which thoughts to accept and which to reject. When a thought about the past arises, assess it. Is this thought helpful? Does it improve my well-being? If not, you have the power to reject it. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. Rather, it means not allowing them to control you. It's about taking a moment to say, "This is how I felt, but I choose not to hold on to it." Furthermore, transform how you interact with memories. Instead of replaying a regretful scenario over and over, try to view it through a lens of growth. Ask yourself, what did this experience teach me? Whether it's resilience, compassion, or a newfound understanding of your limits, there's always something valuable to be gained. This shift in perspective turns a previously negative memory into a stepping stone for personal development. Lastly, engage in mindfulness and meditation, both key components of Stoic practice. These techniques ground you in the present and help dissolve the emotional weight of the past. Mindfulness teaches you to experience life as it happens and to appreciate the now without the shadow of yesterday. It's about noticing the world around you, your reactions, your feelings, and accepting them without judgment. To truly embrace the present and prepare for the future, it's essential to let go of what's behind you. Remember, every moment spent ruminating over the past is a moment lost from your present. So cut that baggage loose. Practice these Stoic principles to center yourself in the now, and you'll find that life becomes a lot lighter. The past doesn't have to define you. You're defined by how you live now, how you react now, and how you prepare for what's next. So, set down that old, heavy suitcase. Your journey ahead requires nothing from it. Have you ever found yourself saying, "I'll start tomorrow," but when tomorrow comes, you say it again? That loop, my friend, is one of life's trickiest ruts to escape. Procrastination isn't just about laziness or poor time management. It's about emotions battling against our intentions. It's the fear of failure, the dread of stepping out of comfort zones, or maybe even the fear of success that holds us back. But here's a thought inspired by Stoicism. What if we didn't wait for the perfect moment to act? What if we started embracing action as the path to clarity? The Stoics taught that it's not events themselves that disturb people, but their judgments about the events. With procrastination, it's often our judgments about the task at hand that hold us back, thinking it's too difficult, too time-consuming, or maybe not worth the effort at all. But what if we could shift that perspective? What if we viewed each action as a necessary step toward virtue, toward becoming our best selves? To tackle procrastination, begin by breaking down your goals into smaller, more manageable tasks. This is a classic Stoic approach to overcoming overwhelming feelings. Just as Marcus Aurelius advised, the task of a philosopher to piece together our natural constitution. Apply this to your goals. Want to write a book? Start by writing a page. Need to organize your home? Start with one drawer. The key is to make the first step so small that it isn't intimidating, almost trivial. Then there's the Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, which involves visualizing the negative outcomes of not acting. Imagine the consequences if you continue to procrastinate. How might it affect your personal growth, your career, or even your relationships? This visualization isn't meant to scare you, but to inject a dose of reality into your planning process. It's about using foresight to fuel your motivation rather than your fears. Furthermore, Stoicism doesn't just ask you to contemplate the bad. It also encourages you to reflect on the benefits of taking action. Each small step you take is progress, and progress is invigorating and self-reinforcing. Once you start and see the benefits of your actions, it becomes easier to keep going. Remember, in the words of Seneca, begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. This approach transforms seemingly mundane tasks into vital parts of your daily life's philosophy. Moreover, consider the Stoic concept of the inner citadel, a fortress within us that remains impervious to externals and our emotional responses to them. When you feel overwhelmed by what you need to do, retreat into your inner citadel. From this place of strength, you can assess tasks with calmness and clarity, free from the paralyzing effects of overthinking and emotional turbulence. Finally, embrace the Stoic ethos of amor fati, love of fate. This doesn't mean being passive or resigning yourself to whatever happens. Rather, it's about loving what you do and doing what you love wholeheartedly. When you start to align your actions with your values, procrastination becomes less of an issue because you're no longer acting out of obligation, but out of genuine desire. So let's challenge ourselves to turn "I'll do it tomorrow" into "I'm doing it now." Because in each moment of action, you're not just ticking off a task, you're building a life. Each step, no matter how small, is a step toward becoming the person you aspire to be. It's about making the most of the now, because now is all we truly have, and now is always the right time to begin. And there we have it. 4 monumental shifts that can truly transform the way you lead your life. It's all about stepping away from those old habits that no longer serve you and embracing new ways that propel you toward a more fulfilling, more purposeful existence. Whether it's silencing the whispers of self-doubt, stopping the endless comparisons to others, releasing the heavy chains of the past, or kicking procrastination to the curb, each step you take is a powerful act of self-liberation. I want you to think of today's discussion not just as a set of instructions, but as a conversation among friends striving for betterment. We're in this together, each of us working on becoming the best versions of ourselves, one day at a time. Some of the most difficult battles we face are the ones inside our own minds, the battles against doubt, fear, frustration, and sometimes even despair. Life throws challenges at us, often without warning, and how we respond to these challenges can define everything. Now, picture this. What if you had a mindset so unshakable, so resilient, that no obstacle could truly stand in your way? That's the kind of strength the Stoics dedicated their lives to developing. A mindset that can overcome anything because it's grounded in the unbreakable principles of wisdom, courage, and self-control. Today, we're diving into the wisdom of the Stoics, not as some ancient philosophy locked in the past, but as a practical toolkit that's just as relevant today as it was 2,000 years ago. These are the lessons that have empowered people for centuries, from emperors to soldiers, and continue to guide millions. If you've ever felt like life is pulling you down, or if you're simply looking to build mental armor that can withstand any storm, stay tuned. By the end of this video, you'll have a blueprint for transforming your mindset, a way to build a mental fortress so that no matter what comes your way, you stand firm. So, if you appreciate what we're doing here and want to support the channel, a simple free favor you can do is hit that subscribe button and make sure not to skip any part of the video to fully grasp the transformative insights we're about to explore together. Let's get started. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to test your virtues, whether it's patience when you're stuck in traffic, resilience when you're dealing with loss, or courage when you're facing fears. The Stoics believed that it's not what happens to you, but how you respond that matters. This mindset transforms obstacles into stepping stones on the path to self-mastery. Now let's get practical. How can we truly embrace challenges? It starts with perception. Instead of viewing difficulties as impediments, see them as instruments for personal development. When something goes wrong, ask yourself, what can this teach me? This shift in perspective isn't just about finding silver linings, but about forging a robust character that thrives under pressure. Moreover, embracing challenges means staying present and engaged, not detached or indifferent. It involves an active engagement with whatever life throws your way, handling it with a calm mind and a focus on what can be controlled. Remember, the goal of Stoicism is not to diminish your emotions, but to channel them in a way that serves you and your community better. This Stoic approach doesn't promise an easy life. Instead, it offers a meaningful one. By consistently applying these principles, you'll find that you're not only capable of withstanding adversity, but also capable of flourishing because of it. Every challenge becomes a chance to demonstrate virtue and build resilience. So next time you find yourself in a tough situation, remember, it's not just a hurdle, it's an invitation to grow stronger and wiser. This principle teaches us that true wealth comes not from external possessions, but from the richness of our ideas and the strength of our character. Stoicism encourages us to shift our focus from acquiring material wealth, which is transient and often beyond our control, to developing robust, transformative ideas that can endure and truly impact the world. Think about it. The most influential people throughout history were not necessarily those with the most financial wealth, but those who offered groundbreaking ideas that reshaped society. From the philosophical insights of Marcus Aurelius to the innovative visions of modern thinkers and leaders, the real currency they dealt with was ideas. So how can we harness this power in our own lives? It starts with nurturing a mindset that values creativity and critical thinking over mere consumption. Stoicism prompts us to ask ourselves, are we merely accumulating things that will fade, or are we developing insights that will last? This isn't to say that money and resources aren't important. They are tools that can be used wisely, but they shouldn't be the end goal. Our aim should be to create and contribute, to think deeply about problems, and to come up with solutions that do more than just serve ourselves. Moreover, embracing the Stoic value of ideas over wealth involves understanding that personal growth and societal contribution are far more rewarding than material success. This perspective not only enriches our own lives, but also makes us valuable to others by fostering a culture of thought leadership and innovation. We can inspire those around us to also look beyond the superficial trappings of wealth and consider the lasting impact of their thoughts and actions. In a world increasingly driven by materialism, the Stoic focus on ideas over wealth is a refreshing call to refocus on what truly matters. It challenges us to be thinkers, innovators, and philosophers in our own right, to build legacies of wisdom rather than just wealth. The Stoics teach us that while we can't control external events, we can control our reactions and actions, shaping our own destinies through deliberate choices and purposeful living. This is not about forging a path in defiance of the world, but rather crafting a life that aligns with our deepest values and virtues. So, How do we start creating our own path? It begins with self-awareness. Stoicism encourages us to examine our lives critically and to question societal norms that might not resonate with our inner truth. Are we following a career or lifestyle because it's what's expected of us, or because it genuinely fulfills us? By reflecting on these questions, we can begin to carve out a life path that truly reflects who we are and what we believe in. Once we have a clearer sense of direction, the next step is to take action. Creating your own path requires courage. The courage to make unconventional choices, to step away from the beaten track, and to withstand the uncertainty and criticism that might come with such decisions. Stoicism equips us with the mental fortitude to handle these challenges by reminding us that our worth is defined by our actions and character, not by external approval or success. Additionally, creating your own path means embracing the concept of lifelong learning and adaptation. Stoics like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius were proponents of ongoing self-improvement and adaptability. They believed that a wise person is always prepared to adjust their course and learn from their experiences. This adaptable approach is crucial in a world that is constantly changing. It encourages us to remain open and responsive to new information and experiences, ensuring that our path remains relevant and aligned with our growth. Lastly, creating your own path isn't just about personal ambition. It's about contributing to society in a meaningful way. Stoicism teaches us to look beyond our individual desires and consider how our actions affect others. By choosing a path that contributes positively to those around us, we fulfill the Stoic ideal of living harmoniously within our community and the broader world. This interconnected perspective ensures that our path is not only self-fulfilling, but also socially responsible. Change is inevitable. Change is also the principle of life. That means that everything that is alive will change, and even things that are not alive will change. Stoics understand that change is the only constant in life, and they teach us to embrace it, not just passively, but actively. They encourage us to mold and be molded by the changes that come our way, ensuring our growth and refinement through every experience. The Stoic approach to change is rooted in the dichotomy of control, a fundamental concept introduced by Epictetus. It reminds us to differentiate between what we can control, our actions, responses, and judgments, and what we cannot, such as the actions of others, the past, and much of the external world. By focusing our energy on our own sphere of influence, we become more effective and serene. This perspective equips us with a mental framework for adapting to change by reducing anxiety over the uncontrollable and empowering us to act where we can. Moreover, adapting to change means maintaining an internal steadiness despite external fluctuations. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, advised us to be like a rocky promontory against which the waves constantly break. It stands firm while the turmoil of the sea falls still around it. This image is a powerful metaphor for Stoic resilience, the ability to maintain composure and clarity of judgment no matter how stormy life gets. This stability doesn't come from rigidity but from a deep understanding of and engagement with the natural flow of life. Practically, adapting to change involves continual self-assessment and adjustment. Stoicism promotes an ongoing dialogue with oneself, a kind of internal audit on how we are responding to daily changes and challenges. Are we reacting emotionally or are we responding thoughtfully? Are our actions consistent with our values? This reflective practice not only helps in managing immediate changes, but also in anticipating and preparing for future ones. Adapting to change in a Stoic sense means viewing each new circumstance as an opportunity for development. Every change, whether perceived as positive or negative, brings lessons and chances to refine our virtues, such as wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. For instance, a sudden hardship might provide an opportunity to practice fortitude and compassion, while an unexpected success might test and strengthen our humility and generosity. This isn't about making rigid plans that resist change, but rather about setting a course guided by our deepest values and virtues, ensuring that each step we take is intentional and meaningful. The Stoics often spoke about the importance of living with a purpose that transcends daily fluctuations and distraction. They argued that without a clear long-term vision, we are at the mercy of external events and impulses, tossed about like a ship without a rudder. A well-defined vision acts as this rudder, helping us navigate life's complex waters with direction and foresight. In practical terms, developing a long-term vision involves reflecting on what truly matters to us, what we value most in life, what kind of person we wish to become, and how we can contribute to the world around us. This vision should be resilient, capable of adapting to changes without losing sight of the overarching goals. For example, you might envision yourself as a lifelong learner, committed to personal growth and the betterment of society. How this manifests might change with circumstances, perhaps through career shifts, evolving relationships, or changing social contexts, but the core vision remains constant. Moreover, a Stoic approach to long-term vision involves preparing mentally for both success and setbacks. It teaches us to anticipate obstacles and view them as natural parts of the journey. This preparation is not pessimistic, but rather a form of realistic optimism. By considering potential challenges and visualizing how to handle them, we strengthen our resolve and flexibility, making us better equipped to persist toward our vision, no matter what life throws our way. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of aligning our vision with actions that are under our control. It's not enough to simply dream or plan. We must also take concrete, consistent steps toward realizing our vision. This means setting manageable goals, reflecting on our daily habits, and continuously adjusting our strategies to stay aligned with our long-term aspirations. Each small action should be seen as a building block toward a larger purpose, imbued with meaning and direction. Developing a long-term vision, in a Stoic sense, means embracing the journey as much as the destination. The true value of this vision lies not just in achieving specific goals, but in the growth and insights we gain along the way. Stoicism teaches us to value each moment and challenge as part of our overall development, reminding us that the path to fulfilling our vision is just as important as the end result. This introspective practice isn't just about self-improvement in a conventional sense. It's about cultivating a deep understanding of our thoughts, behaviors, and the motives behind them, aiming to align our actions with the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Stoicism teaches us to turn inward and examine our responses to the world. This self-examination is a critical tool for personal growth, as it allows us to identify areas where our perceptions or actions may not align with our ethical standards or desired outcomes. It involves asking ourselves challenging questions. Why did I react that way? What can this emotion teach me? How can I respond better in the future? This level of inquiry helps us not only understand ourselves better, but also facilitates greater control over our reactions and emotions. Furthermore, the Stoic practice of self-reflection includes a technique known as the evening review, where the day's events are replayed in the mind, not to dwell on them, but to evaluate and learn from them. This practice encourages a kind of daily mental cleanup, ensuring that we remain vigilant and conscious of our progress toward our personal goals. It helps cement the day's lessons and prepares us to face tomorrow with a clearer, more focused mind. In terms of personal growth, Stoicism promotes the idea that we should strive to be better than we were yesterday, rather than better than someone else. This philosophy teaches that comparison with others is a distraction and often a source of dissatisfaction. Instead, by focusing on our own path and progress, this inward focus fosters not only self-improvement but also self-acceptance, acknowledging that while perfection is unattainable, continuous improvement is both achievable and deeply fulfilling. Additionally, Stoicism doesn't shy away from the discomfort that often accompanies growth. It acknowledges that real growth can be challenging and uncomfortable, as it requires us to confront truths about ourselves that we may prefer to ignore. However, it also reassures us that this discomfort is a natural part of developing virtue and character. Each challenge and every discomfort is an opportunity to practice Stoic virtues, strengthen our resolve, and enhance our capacity for compassion and understanding. Personal growth and self-reflection in a Stoic context mean living consciously, deliberately, and ethically. They involve a continuous dialogue between our inner selves and the external world, allowing us to navigate life not as passive recipients of our circumstances but as active ethical participants, shaping our lives with intention and integrity. Every hardship presents an opportunity to practice virtues like patience, endurance, and resilience. For instance, when we face a personal setback, we are given a chance to practice perseverance. When we encounter injustice, we have an opportunity to cultivate fortitude and advocate for fairness. The Stoics saw these moments as exercises, much like a runner uses hills to build strength. It's not about seeking out adversity, but when it inevitably appears, it's about responding in a way that aligns with our principles and enhances our character. Furthermore, Stoicism doesn't advocate for a passive acceptance of all adversity. Instead, it promotes an active engagement with life's challenges. This involves asking ourselves how we can use an adverse situation to our advantage or to the benefit of others. Can a tough situation teach us something valuable about ourselves? Can we find a way to turn a personal struggle into a source of inspiration for others? By actively seeking the value in adversity, we transform our struggles into lessons and our trials into triumphs. Self-reflection plays a critical role in this process. Stoics regularly engage in practices such as meditation and journaling to reflect on their experiences, including their encounters with adversity. This isn't about ruminating over what went wrong, but about extracting actionable insights that can lead to personal improvement and better outcomes in the future. This reflective process helps internalize the lessons learned from adversity, ensuring that each challenge faced contributes to a deeper understanding and a more resilient self. Moreover, utilizing adversity involves embracing a certain level of detachment from external conditions. Stoics strive to maintain inner tranquility regardless of external circumstances by focusing on what they can control, their responses and their attitudes. This detachment doesn't mean not caring about outcomes. Rather, it's about not being emotionally overwhelmed by them. It allows us to face life's ups and downs with equanimity and act according to our values, regardless of the situation. Utilizing adversity in a Stoic sense means transforming every challenge into a stepping stone toward greater wisdom and a more virtuous life. It encourages us to not only survive our struggles, but to use them as fuel for our philosophical journey, enhancing our ability to live a fulfilling and impactful life. In doing so, we not only better ourselves, but also potentially provide a beacon of hope and strength for others facing their own adversities. Leadership and influence are not about wielding power over others, but about leading by example and inspiring those around you with your virtue and integrity. Stoicism teaches that true leaders are those who govern their own lives with wisdom and justice, and whose actions encourage others to do the same. This approach to leadership emphasizes personal character and ethical behavior as the foundation of genuine influence. In Stoic thought, leadership starts with self-mastery. Before one can effectively lead others, one must be in command of oneself. This means practicing self-discipline, managing one's emotions, and making decisions that reflect a commitment to the common good rather than personal gain. It involves cultivating virtues like courage, temperance, prudence, and justice. A Stoic leader models these virtues, demonstrating through their own behavior how to live a good life. Their influence, therefore, is not enforced through authority, but naturally radiates out, compelling others by the example they set. Moreover, Stoicism holds that effective leadership is about contributing to the well-being of others and the community as a whole. It's about service rather than status. This perspective encourages leaders to focus on how they can help others grow and succeed, fostering an environment where the team or community can thrive. By prioritizing the needs and welfare of others, Stoic leaders build trust and loyalty, which are essential for any influential. Communication also plays a critical role in Stoic leadership. A Stoic leader communicates clearly, honestly, and with the intent to enlighten and improve the situations they are involved in. They listen attentively, seek to understand different perspectives, and respond thoughtfully. This open and respectful communication style not only helps in resolving conflicts and finding common ground, but also strengthens the leader's influence by establishing them as fair and reliable. Another important aspect of leadership in Stoicism is adaptability, the ability to remain steady in the face of change and uncertainty. Stoic leaders recognize that they cannot control all external events, but they can always control their responses. This resilience enables them to guide others through crises and challenges with calmness and clarity, providing a stable anchor for their team or community. Stoic leadership involves lifelong learning and reflection. Stoic leaders are committed to their own personal growth and are continually seeking knowledge and wisdom that can enhance their leadership skills and ethical understanding. They are reflective about their actions and open to feedback, always looking for ways to improve and better serve their community. This is an essential part of Stoic practice, allowing you to pause, assess, and recalibrate your path according to the principles and values you hold dear. It's about looking back, not just to reminisce or regret, but to understand and learn. This introspective process is crucial because it helps you appreciate the distance you've traveled, acknowledge the lessons learned, and use that knowledge to shape a more purposeful future. Stoicism teaches us to view life as a series of opportunities for growth. Every experience, whether deemed successful or fraught with challenges, carries with it valuable lessons. By reflecting on these experiences, we engage in a thoughtful analysis of our actions and decisions, discerning whether they align with the Stoic virtues of wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. This isn't about judging ourselves harshly, but about approaching our past with a compassionate and constructive mindset that is keen on continuous improvement. In this reflection, consider the times when you faced adversity. How did you respond? Did you react with frustration and anger, or did you find a way to remain composed and make reasoned decisions? Each instance provides insight into your character and resilience, offering clues on areas where you might strengthen your Stoic practice. Similarly, reflect on your moments of joy and success. These too can teach you about who you are and what matters most to you, reinforcing your commitment to those values. Furthermore, reflecting on your journey involves acknowledging the transient nature of life, a key Stoic concept. Everything, our successes, failures, joys, and sorrows, is temporary and must be appreciated in the moment, yet held loosely as we move forward. This awareness fosters a deep sense of gratitude for the present and a readiness to face the future, no matter what it may bring, with open arms and a willing heart. Finally, sharing your reflections can be incredibly powerful, not just for your own growth, but also as a way to influence and inspire others. By discussing your journey, you contribute to a broader dialogue about how to live a good life, encouraging others to reflect on their own paths and perhaps discover the Stoic way for themselves. Did you know that the majority of walk through life feeling like we're not in control of our destiny? It's a common experience, feeling like you're being pushed along by circumstances, by other people's expectations, or even by your own fears and doubts. But here's a powerful thought from Stoic philosophy that might just change the way you see everything. You have power over your mind, not outside solemnity. Realize this and you will find strength. It's Marcus Aurelius reminding us that true power comes from within. Today, we're diving deep into the 6 rules to win in life, inspired by the resilience and wisdom of Stoic philosophy. These aren't just tips, they are transformational ways of thinking that can lead you to a life of real achievement and emotional strength. If you find value in what we're discussing here, do me a simple, free favor. Hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you might think. And stick with me, because each rule we're going to explore could be the key to unlocking a new chapter in your life. Whether you're looking for a complete turnaround or just a few tweaks to better align with your core values, today's episode is laid for you. Let's explore these ancient truths that continue to resonate so powerfully in our modern lives. Imagine you're standing at the edge of a new beginning. You look back and see your past mistakes made, opportunities missed, and the echo of what could have been ringing loud. But here's the thing, the past doesn't have the power to dictate your future unless you let it. This is where believing in your power to change creates a new chapter. And it's foundational to Stoic philosophy, which teaches us that we are in control of our perceptions and reactions. The Stoics, like Epictetus, believe that our minds have the incredible power to shape our experiences and realities. He famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you embrace this mindset, you start seeing yourself as the powerful creator of your own life, not just a passive participant. You have the ability to sculpt your future, thought by thought, action. So, how do you start believing in your power to change? It begins with understanding that your mental and emotional muscles are just like physical ones. The more you use them, the stronger they become. Every moment you choose patience over frustration, positivity over negativity, action over procrastination, you are exercising those muscles. It's about making small, consistent choices that steer your life in a direction aligned with your deepest values. Exercise faith. You are exercising passion. You are exercising faith. Believing in your power to change also means stepping out of your comfort zone. The Stoics weren't about living a life of comfort. They were about living a life of moral virtue and personal excellence. They challenged themselves to grow from every situation, especially the challenging ones. Marcus Aurelius viewed obstacles as opportunities. To him, what stood in the way became the way. When you start viewing your challenges through this lens, every obstacle becomes a stepping stone towards personal growth and resilience. Moreover, cultivating this belief requires you to look critically at the narratives you tell yourself. Are they narratives of empowerment or self-doubt? Start rewriting those stories. If you've always told yourself, "I'm not good at public speaking," start telling yourself, "I am improving at public speaking every day." Words have power, and by changing your words, you begin to change your reality. This belief in change is not just about personal affirmations, it's deeply practical. It involves setting clear, achievable goals and breaking them down into steps that feel manageable. It's about progress, not perfection. Celebrate each small victory along the way. These build up, reinforcing your belief in your ability to change and pushing you toward longer success. Stoicism also teaches the importance of reflecting on your day. Take a moment each evening to think about what went well and what could have gone better. This practice, known as the daily Stoic reflection, helps you become more mindful of your ability to influence your actions and reactions. It encourages a mindset of continuous improvement and adaptation, which is essential for personal growth. In embracing your power to change, remember that patience is your ollie. Change doesn't happen overnight. Just like the Stoics, you must be steadfast in your efforts, resilient in your setbacks, and always willing to learn from each experience. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a step toward transforming your life. Believing in your power to change is ultimately about taking responsibility for your life. It's about making a conscious decision to not be defined by external circumstances, but by how you respond to them. It's a commitment to stop being an actor in someone else's script and start writing your own. So take that pen, face that blank page, and start crafting a story you'll be proud to live. One decision, one belief, one action at a time. Life isn't always going to hand you easy wins. Sometimes it feels like it's just piling on one challenge after another. But here's the scoop. The tough times, they're your secret weapon. It's in these moments, right in the thick of struggle, that the core of who you are is forged. Stoicism, a philosophy built on resilience and inner strength, teaches us just that. The Stoics saw every hardship as a chance to practice virtues like courage, perseverance, and adaptability. They didn't just endure struggles, they welcomed them as opportunities to grow stronger. When you start to embrace your struggles, you shift from feeling victimized by your circumstances to becoming a proactive partisan in your own life. Think about a time when something didn't go as planned. Maybe you lost a job, endured a tough breakup, or faced a health scare. Initially, it might have felt like the world was caving in. but upon reflection you lately found that you gained something invaluable from each experience. Maybe it was a lesson in self-reliance, a clearer understanding of what you truly value, or the realization of your own resilience. Each struggle has the potential to teach us something profound. Embracing struggles also means maintaining a level head when things seem out of control. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Just like a diamond emerging brilliant and strong from pressure, our characters are shaped and perfected through the challenges we face. This perspective encourages you not only to survive tough times, but to thrive because of them. But how do you practically embrace struggle? Start by resetting your mindset. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What is this teaching me?" Every challenge comes with a lesson, and finding that lesson can transform a negative situation into a powerful catalyst for personal development. It's about shifting from a mindset of scarcity and fear to one of growth and opportunity. Additionally, embracing struggles involves staying present during tough times. It's easy to dwell on past misfortunes or worry about future difficulties. But Stoicism teaches the value of living in the present moment. This doesn't mean ignoring the past or future, but it does mean focusing on what you can control right here and right now. Often that means taking actionable steps to mitigate a problem, leaning into supportive relationships, or even just maintaining your mental composure. Building resilience is another practical approach to embracing struggle. Resilience doesn't mean you won't feel the pressure. It means you're equipped to bounce back from setbacks. You can build resilience by setting small, manageable goals, maintaining a routine that includes time for self-care, and continuously learning from each experience. Over time, what once seemed like insurmountable challenges will start to feel manageable. Even welcome tests of your growing strength. Lastly, share your journey. Connecting with others about your struggles and how you're working through them can be incredibly empowering. It not only helps you process what you're going through, but also inspires others who might be facing their own battles. Remember, embracing your struggles doesn't have to be a solitary journey. In true Stoic fashion, leverage your community for support, wisdom, and a little extra strength when needed. You know that feeling when you're around people who just get you, where the conversation flows, the ideas bounce back and forth, and you leave feeling energized rather than drained? That's no accident. The company we keep doesn't just influence our mood, it shapes our entire journey through life. It's crucial then to be intentional about whom we choose to spend our time with. Because, as the Stoics would remind us, our character is molded by our environment. Stoicism teaches us that personal growth and success are not solely the product of our own thoughts and actions, but also the influence of those we surround ourselves with. Seneca wrote extensively about the importance of friendship and its impact on our moral and ethical development. He suggested that we form bonds with those who embody the qualities we aspire to have ourselves, because habits, good and bad alike, are contagious. Consider this. If you're on a path to self-improvement, whether it's pursuing a new career, developing healthier habits, or cultivating a more positive mindset, having friends who not only support these goals but are also on similar journeys themselves can make all the difference. They aren't just cheerleaders. They understand your struggles, share insights, and inspire you just by being examples of what's possible. It's also about more than just mutual interests or goals. Surrounding yourself with the right people means seeking out those who challenge you in constructive ways. A true friend doesn't just pat you on the back. They challenge you to grow, to think differently, and to push beyond your perceived limits. In the context of Stoicism, this means engaging with people who question your assumptions and help you refine your reasoning and virtues. These interactions are invaluable because they force you to defend your ideas or consider new perspectives, leading to deeper understanding and personal growth. But let's be real, this isn't about creating an echo chamber. It's about cultivating a diverse network that enriches your life. It's about finding people who bring different perspectives, skills, and experiences to the table. Diversity in your circle encourages creativity and helps you see the world through multiple lenses, which is essential for developing a well-running character. Now, how do you find these right people? Start by being the kind of person you want to attract. Exhibit the qualities that you value in others: integrity, kindness, resilience, and curiosity. Show up as someone who adds value, who listens, and who cares. Then, look for those traits in others. Attend events that line with your interests. Join clubs or groups that reflect your values, and reach out to individuals who inspire you. Moreover, don't forget to prune your social circle when necessary. Stoicism doesn't just teach acceptance, it teaches discernment. It's okay to distance yourself from those who consistently drain your energy or detract from your growth. This isn't about being harsh or judgmental, it's about protecting your space and investing your time wisely. Remember, it's your right and responsibility to protect your peace and prioritize relationships that are truly reciprocal and beneficial. Let's face it, we all have those days when we're just not feeling it, whether it's hitting the gym, tackling that project, or even just getting out of bed. But here's where the real game changer comes in: staying the course even when the spark isn't there. Consistency isn't about having a constant rush of motivation, it's about commitment. It's what separates the dreamers from the doers, and it's deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy. Stoicism teaches us about the importance of discipline and perseverance. For Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, life was about doing the work that needs to be done, regardless of how one feels about it. He famously wrote in his meditations about the necessity of getting out of bed, waking up with purpose, despite his personal reluctance. This practice of consistency isn't just about productivity, it's a form of ethical living. By staying committed to our goals, we line our actions with our values, creating a harmonious and meaningful life. So, how do we cultivate this kind of consistency? First, it begins with setting clear intentions. Know what you want to achieve and why it's important to you. This clarity will be your anchor on days when motivation wanes. Once your goals are set, break them down into manageable tasks. The idea is to create a routine that supports your ambitions, turning productive actions into daily habits. Over time, these habits build on each other, compounding into significant progress. It's also crucial to develop a mindset that embraces the mundane aspects of any journey. Stoicism doesn't glamorize the path to success. Instead, it allows us that much of life is about handling the ordinary with grace and commitment. Every small, consistent action is a building block for longer achievements. Whether it's writing a single page each day, practicing a musical instrument, or dedicating regular time to study, these aren't just tasks, they are stepping stones to mastery. Embracing the philosophy of amor fati, a love of fate, is another Stoic principle that can enhance your ability to stay consistent. This concept teaches us to love everything that happens, including the challenges and the seemingly repetitive or boring tasks. By learning to love the process, not just the outcomes, we find value in the persistence itself. This shift in perspective can transform our approach to daily tasks, turning them from chores into choices that define us. Of course, staying consistent is easier said than done. It requires you to keep pushing even when you see no immediate results. It's like planting a tree. You water it daily, not because you expect it to bear fruit overnight, but because you know that each drop contributes to its growth. Patience and persistence are key, and when you falter, as we all do, it's important to be kind to yourself. Reflect on what led to the lapse and how you can prevent it in the future. But don't dwell. Each day offers a new start, a fresh opportunity to reaffirm your commitment. Finally, accountability can play a significant role in maintaining consistency. Share your goals with a friend, join a group with similar interests, or keep a progress journal. These tools not only keep you accountable, but also provide support and encouragement along the way. Ever noticed how some of the best stories start with a stumble? Think about it, every hero faces their share of defeats before they save the day. It's not the setbacks that define them, but how they bounce back. That's not just a formula for good storytelling, it's a powerful lesson in life. Learning from failures isn't about glossing over them or pretending they don't sting. It's about mining them for insights and turning them into stepping stones. And this is where Stoic philosophy really shines, offering a timeless framework for turning adversity into advantage. Stoicism teaches us that every obstacle is an opportunity to practice some virtue: patience, courage, humility, resourcefulness. For Stoics like Epictetus, it was not the events themselves but our responses to them that mattered most. This perspective shifts how we view failures, from being endpoints to being part of the learning curve. Deaths are feedback, and feedback is the breakfast of champions. It tells you where the gaps are, what needs improvement, and how to refine your strategies. By embracing this mindset, you're not just recovering from a fall, you're preparing to leap. Think about the last time something didn't go according to plan in your life. Maybe a job interview went sideways, or a project you were passionate about didn't pan out. It's natural to feel a rush of disappointment, maybe even a bit of embarrassment. But once the dust settles, that's your moment to turn the spotlight on what went wrong. Dive deep. Were there warning signs you overlooked? Skills you might have underestimated the importance of? Mystics in communication, each of these elements holds a clue, a lesson that's tailor-made to help you grow. But it's not just about dissecting what went wrong, it's also about appreciating what this failure teaches about resilience and adaptability. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the impermanence of troubles and the resilience of the human spirit. He advised to meet challenges with dignity and to always be prepared to accept and adapt to our circumstances. When you learn from your failures, you're essentially training yourself to be more resilient. You're building a toolkit that equips you to handle future challenges with greater skill and confidence. Learning from failure also means learning to let go of fear. Often, it's not the failure itself that holds us back, but our fear of failing again. Here, too, Stoicism offers valuable advice. Focus on what's within your control. You can't change the past, but you can influence the future. You can decide how to react, what to learn, and what actions to take next. Instead of being paralyzed by fear, use it as fuel. Convert anxiety into action, and let your failures teach you how to be fearless. And remember, you're not in this alone. Share your experiences, the good and the bad. When you open up about your failures, you do two things. You normalize the learning process for everyone around you, and you allow others to learn from your experience as well. This not only strengthens your connections, but also builds a culture where failure is seen not as a source of shame, but as a common ground for growth. Life's like being in the driver's seat of a car on a vast, sprawling highway. You can stick to a familiar route, or you can turn off onto roads less traveled and explore new territories. The choice is yours, but remember, the journey doesn't stop unless you decide to pull over. Staying curious, hungry for knowledge, and open to change. These are the fuels that keep your engine running and your journey exciting. Embracing a mindset of constantly learning and self-improvement, which advocates for a life of constant learning and self-improvement. Stoicism isn't just about enduring life's challenges, it's about thriving through them by continuously adapting and growing. Consider the words of Seneca, who urged us to be a student always. He means staying in school forever. He means maintaining the mindset of a learner throughout your life. No matter your age, career, or stage in life, there's always something new to discover, and every experience offers a lesson to be learned. To never stop evolving means to make a conscious effort to push beyond your current boundaries. It's about setting new goals once old ones are met, and seeking challenges that stretch your abilities and force you to grow. It's also about reflecting on your personal and professional life regularly, identifying areas for improvement, and taking deliberate steps to address them. This kind of introspection and proactive change aligns closely with the Stoic practice of self-examination and discipline. Moreover, embracing change and seeking growth also involves cultivating adaptability, a trait highly regarded in Stoic teachings. Just like a tree that bends with the wind but doesn't break, being adaptable in the face of life's constant changes helps you not only to survive, but to thrive. It means not getting too attached to current successes or ways of doing things. Markets change, new technologies evolve, and by staying flexible, you remain relevant and vibrant. Part of never stopping your evolution is also about opening yourself up to new ideas and perspectives. It's easy to become comfortable with what you know and whom you know, but growth often lies in the unfamiliar. Listen to others, especially those who might see the world differently. Engage with content that challenges your existing beliefs and consider it thoughtfully. This practice not only broadens your understanding, but also deepens your capacity for empathy and connection. Stories also emphasize the role of community and personal growth. By surrounding yourself with people who are also committed to personal and professional growth, you create an environment that is conducive to continuous evolution. These relationships can provide motivation, insight, and feedback that are essential for personal development. They act like mirrors, reflecting your strengths and ideas that can catalyze your growth. Lastly, never stopping your evolution means embracing lifelong learning in its many forms. Whether through formal education, reading, travel, or engaging in new skills not only keeps your brain sharp, but also opens up new opportunities and ways of seeing the world. It helps keep life fresh and exciting. During that, you're not just passing through life, but actively engaging with it in meaningful ways. How many times have you chased something with all your strength, did everything to achieve it, but it seemed that the more you tried, the more distant it became, as if life was playing with you, giving you hope and then pulling the rug out from under you? The truth is that you don't need to chase anything. What is truly yours will find you. It may seem hard to believe this now, but think about how many good things have come into your life when you simply stopped forcing it and let it happen. Stoicism teaches that true strength is not in desperately chasing, but in trusting. Stay calm and know your worth. When you align yourself with your essence and stop acting with fear and anxiety, you will begin to naturally attract everything that deserves success, opportunities, and true connections. In this video, I will show you how to change this mindset and stop chasing to start attracting through 11 reflections. And you know what? The best of all? What is yours is already coming your way. All you need to do is learn to relax and let it flow. Stay with me until the end, and you will learn how to turn this game around once and for all. Let's start. The mind is far more powerful than you might imagine. Many of us, caught up in the rush of everyday life, overlook the significant influence it has on our existence. But did you know that your mind can be the key to transforming your reality? It is the epicenter of your power. Every thought, belief, and emotion originates from within you. Everything you think can shape your experiences. Imagine controlling your thoughts instead of being controlled by them. Imagine if instead of allowing fear or doubt to dominate, you focused on what is possible and within your reach. This isn't just a mental exercise, it's a way of life, a method to harness this secret power that we all possess, yet few know how to activate. When properly trained, the mind can perform unimaginable feats. It can transform obstacles into challenges, difficulties into lessons, and failures into opportunities. This insight is something that great leaders, philosophers, and even the wise men of antiquity understood well. The mind is your battlefield. Winning there means winning in the real world. However, you must be cautious. The mind can be your most powerful ally or your greatest enemy, depending on how you use this strength. If you succumb to negative emotions or uncertainties, you'll merely feed the energy that blocks your potential. Conversely, if you consciously use your mind, you're leveraging an invisible force in your favor. Have you ever considered that the power you seek has been inside you all along? Sometimes we feel lost, as though we are being swept along by circumstances beyond our control. But what if I told you that true strength doesn't come from external events, but from how you choose to perceive them? We are not victims of what the world does to us. What defines us is how we respond. It may be hard to believe, especially when it feels like certain things are beyond our reach, as if we are trapped in a reality we cannot alter. But remember, everything starts in the mind, our ability to choose our reactions, and more importantly, what we decide to believe about ourselves. Consider this. Your mind is like a blank canvas, ready to receive whatever images you decide to project onto it. Every thought you allow in paints a stroke on this canvas. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The mind becomes what it thinks about." So, why not start now? Instead of focusing on what's missing, why not focus on what's already within your reach? Instead of getting lost in difficulties, why not view them as opportunities for growth? I know it's not easy. Life demands a lot from us. But the strength you need to move forward isn't out there. It's inside you, waiting to be awakened. This awakening begins the moment you decide to take control of your thoughts, to view situations not as problems, but as challenges to be overcome, and to believe that you are indeed capable of creating the life you deserve. So, how about starting now? What will you choose to think? What will you allow to grow within you? True transformation begins the moment you decide that the power to change is in your hands and no one else's. Sometimes we attempt to control everything. Our minds create plans and strategies, expecting everything to proceed in a straight line without deviations. However, life is not so predictable. It's filled with ups and downs, surprises and twists. Yet, there is deep wisdom in simply flowing. Flowing does not mean giving up or letting everything happen without taking action. Rather, it's about learning to dance with life, moving with it without resistance, like a river that smoothly navigates around a stone in its path, never fighting against it, but adapting and continuing its course. This approach is not about avoiding obstacles, but about learning to navigate through them with the confidence that each turn has a purpose. Trust. Trust might seem like a simple word, but it encompasses great power. Trust is not just believing that things will work out. It's also trusting in yourself and your ability to face the challenges that arise. More importantly, it's about trusting that life has a plan for you. You are not alone on this journey. The energy that moves the world knows what is best for you, even if you don't feel it in the moment. Trust is a form of surrender, not a surrender of weakness, but of strength. It's the strength of knowing that even when we lack control, there is something greater guiding each step. Seneca once said, "Life is long enough, and a sufficiently generous amount has been given to us for the highest achievements if we use it well." Now, the hardest part, and perhaps the most beautiful, is receiving. We are so accustomed to fighting, chasing, and thinking that we need to earn each achievement that we often forget to simply open our arms and receive. Life is constantly offering us gifts, but are you open to receiving them? Are you allowing blessings to flow to you, or are you erecting barriers and resistance? Receiving is more than a physical act. It is an emotional one, reminding us that we deserve what is good. Often, we believe we need to do more to deserve the best, that we must achieve something great for life to reward us. However, life is already providing everything we need. The mere fact of being alive and breathing is a gift. Reflect on this. Are you flowing, or are you trying to force things to go your way? Do you trust, or do you feel the need to control every move? Are you ready to receive, or are you still caught up in the belief that you need to do more, be more, to deserve? Flow, trust, and receive is not just a mantra, it's a lifestyle. A life in which, instead of fighting against what comes, you learn to align yourself with what is rightfully yours. And when you do, you'll realize that what you sought so intensely has always been within your reach. It was just waiting for you to be ready to receive it. Have you ever noticed how, in moments of calm, life seems to flow more smoothly? How answers begin to emerge more clearly, as if things fall into place on their own? In a world where we are constantly running from one task to another, trying to achieve more, do more, be more, we often overlook the simple power of calm. Curiously, it is in calmness that the key to success often lies. It seems contradictory, doesn't it? We are so used to believing that to achieve something, we need to be in constant motion, that success comes from the pressure of the hustle. But in truth, it is calm that creates space for opportunities to arise, for decisions to be made clearly, and for connecting with what really matters. When you are calm, your mind is free from scattered thoughts. It is not overwhelmed by stress or anxiety. Instead, it becomes a space of clarity. You see things with more perspective, more discernment, and most importantly, you become more aware of opportunities that would previously go unnoticed. When you act from a place of calm, your actions are more intentional, more aligned with what you really want, not with external expectations or the pressure of the moment. Seneca stated, "Nothing is more important than the tranquility of the mind. Even in the greatest turbulence, keep your mind calm." Now, think for a moment. Have you often made impulsive decisions, driven by haste or anxiety, and then regretted them? Or perhaps stopped acting out of fear because anxiety paralyzed you? This happens to all of us. But when you manage to cultivate calm, you can look at situations without the weight of anxiety. You become capable of making more sensible decisions, acting wisely without letting yourself be consumed by pressure. Moreover, when you are calm, you transmit confidence. The people around you sense this energy. They realize that you are not in a hurry, that you know where you are going, and that you trust the process. This type of energy is magnetic. People are drawn to those who transmit serenity, because calm is rare in today's world. When you exude this calm, you begin to attract opportunities, allies, and even the conditions conducive to success. Then, success is not about being constantly in turbo mode, frantically chasing after goals. In fact, true success comes when you learn to act with calm and confidence, knowing that everything you need is already on its way. It is not about rushing, but about aligning yourself with the present moment, cultivating an internal harmony that permits things to arise at the right time. Sometimes, pressure makes us believe that we need to do everything immediately, that we must always be busy and on the move to ensure our success. But in reality, it is when you allow yourself to slow down and trust that everything falls into place, and true transformation begins to happen. Success is not about constant motion. It is about being aligned with your purpose, with who you are, and with the circumstances unfolding naturally. Gratitude. Gratitude is a word we often hear, but have you truly considered the power it wields? It's not merely a polite way to thank for what we've received. Gratitude is a transformative force, a portal that opens doors to an abundant flow of blessings in our lives. Imagine for a moment the energy of the universe is always surrounding you, ready to align with you. All you need to do is send out positive vibrations for this energy to manifest in the form of opportunities, achievements, or even inner peace. Gratitude is that vibration. When you express gratitude, it's not only for something you have already received, but it also creates a magnetic energy that attracts more reasons to be grateful. It seems simple, yet gratitude profoundly impacts how our mind and body function. When you are grateful, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin, the substances that make us feel good, tuning us into a higher state of mind. This state, in turn, attracts more good into our lives. You begin to view situations, even challenging ones, in a new light. Instead of focusing on what is missing or what did not work, you start to recognize the small victories, the moments of joy, the lessons embedded within challenges. But here's the secret. Gratitude is not only about what has already happened, but also about anticipating the good yet to come. When you practice gratitude with an open heart, you're not just celebrating what you already possess, but also signaling to the universe that you are ready to receive even more. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Remember, nothing happens to you, everything happens for you." With this mindset, you begin to align yourself with your desires, creating an attraction field that manifests your wishes. Gratitude does not replace action. Rather, it strengthens your intentions and enhances your ability to create positively. Now, think of something important to you, a dream, a goal, a deep desire. If you start to be grateful for it, as if it had already materialized, you are not just passively waiting for it to happen. You are activating a creation energy. You are telling your subconscious and the universe that you believe it is possible, that you deserve it, and you are already grateful for its achievement. The most powerful aspect of gratitude is how it opens you to opportunities that can help manifest your desires, because you are emitting the right energy. Gratitude is the key that unlocks your power of manifestation. Instead of lamenting what you don't have, be grateful for what you do have. Your life, your family, the food you ate today, your relationships. Gratitude is not just a reaction to the good in your life, but a proactive way of creating the future you desire. With each expression of thanks, you are telling the universe that you are ready for more. When you start practicing this daily, in all situations, big or small, your life begins to reflect this abundance. Remember, true gratitude stems from sincerity, not from an attempt to manipulate reality. It's not about pretending everything is perfect, but about recognizing that, even in difficult times, there is something to be thankful for. This attitude attracts precisely what you need most. Have you ever closed your eyes and imagined your life exactly as you've always wanted it? Perhaps you envision a successful career, a life filled with peace, true love, or even a place that feels like home. This exercise, simple as it may seem, holds immense power. Visualization is not just a mental diversion, it's a tool for creation. When you visualize, you're not merely daydreaming, you're actively projecting your desired reality. The mind, particularly the part responsible for imagination, cannot differentiate between what is real and what is vividly imagined. When you create detailed images, you experience emotions as if your desires are already materializing. You begin to forge a mental pathway, bridging the gap between current reality and potential future. Think with me. How often have you visualized something only to feel doubt, as if your mind were telling you this is impossible for me? If so, the issue may not be with visualization itself, but with how you connect to it. Visualization is more than a mental exercise. It's a challenge that demands confidence. When you envision something in your mind and feel it as an undeniable truth, you generate a powerful energy that begins to attract your desires. Marcus Aurelius once said that what lies before us is merely a reflection of what lies within us. Visualization is a dialogue between you and the universe. Each time you see yourself achieving your goals, your brain starts to pave the way for these achievements. Every detail you imagine becomes a tangible possibility. The critical question is, do you believe in what you are visualizing? If you truly believe that your vision is attainable, then you are taking the initial, unconscious steps toward making that reality manifest. I know it can be difficult at first. Life conditions us to doubt and question the seemingly unachievable, but here's a technique. Visualize intensely. Close your eyes and see the scene as if it were already real. Imagine the colors, the sounds, the sensations of what you are creating. Feel the emotion of having already achieved what you desire. This is the moment to align your mind and your heart with your aspiration. It's not just about thinking, it's about feeling. However, visualization doesn't stop with imagination. It serves as a daily reminder of what you aim to create and what you are capable of achieving. When you visualize, you are signaling to your subconscious that this is your path and that you are committed to reaching it. By maintaining this clear vision, you begin to notice the opportunities, people, and circumstances around you that align with what you visualized. Have you ever noticed how life often teaches us to hold on tightly to things, people, results, objects, even ideas, as if happiness were only possible if we maintain control over everything? However, there is a hidden art in this process, an art that is counterintuitive but has the power to profoundly transform our lives. The art of letting go. Letting go does not mean giving up. It is not about abandoning your dreams or goals, nor is it about losing something valuable. Letting go is actually about creating space for something new to enter your life, so that the universe can bring what is truly necessary for your growth. When you hold on to something too tightly, you prevent other things from flowing to you, blocking the new opportunities that are waiting to be received. Have you considered this? Often, the resistance to letting go stems from fear. Fear of losing, fear of uncertainty, fear that if we let go of what we have, we won't find something better. But the truth is, by keeping our hands so closed, we are literally closing the doors to what could be even greater. Seneca said, "Rushing is the fastest path to frustration. Enjoy the moment and go at your own pace." The process of letting go is actually an act of trust. It's trusting that what is in your life today has a purpose, but also trusting that new things, new people, and new experiences are coming at exactly the right time. Consider a simple example, like a relationship or friendship that no longer aligns with who you have become. Keeping that person in your life out of pure habit or fear of being alone may be preventing you from finding other, more meaningful and enriching connections. Sometimes, what you most need is to make room for new relationships to blossom so that you can grow in other directions. When you let go, you free yourself from what no longer serves you, and you create a void that will be filled by something much more aligned with who you are today. Letting go also involves accepting that we have no control over many things. It can be scary because the ego likes to be in charge, but by accepting that there are things outside of our control, such as the behavior of others, the future, or certain outcomes, we can find inner peace. When you let go, you stop fighting the natural flow of life. You begin to realize that there are greater forces working in your favor, even if you don't always understand them at the time. This challenging art of letting go is one of the most powerful ways to attract what you really need. By letting go, you make room for abundance. You free your mind from worries and limitations, allowing new flows of energy, new ideas, and new possibilities to enter. It is the key. You know that moment when you feel like everything is taking too long? The clock seems to crawl, things don't happen as expected, and anxiety starts to creep in. I know it's hard to trust in time, especially when we're immersed in the rush of everyday life, when we desire quick results, immediate answers, and everything seems to hinge on an instant. But what if I told you that contrary to what many of us believe, time is not our enemy, it's our ally? Time possesses a wisdom that transcends our immediate understanding. It does not rush, it flows. This fluidity allows us to learn, grow, and most importantly, mature. When we stop trying to force events, demanding that everything happen now, we begin to appreciate how time prepares us. It gives us space to reflect, to adjust our vision, and often, to steer away from a path that was not right for us, all part of a larger process. Epictetus once said, "Time is a property that we cannot recover. Do not waste time worrying about what cannot be controlled. Live and trust in time." Imagine you planted a tree. You want it to grow quickly, right? The temptation might be to pull at the plant, urging it to grow faster. But that won't work. Time is essential. It allows the roots to take hold, the trunk to become strong, and the branches to flourish in the healthiest way possible. In the same way, our lives and our goals require time. If we try to speed up the process, we run the risk of compromising the outcome. Time gives us the chance to build a solid foundation so that what we are creating can sustain itself and grow robustly. I know it can be hard to be patient. It can be frustrating to watch things unfold slowly, especially when it seems like others around you are advancing quickly. But remember, you can't see what's going on behind the scenes in everyone's life. Everyone's timing is unique, and each journey is different. What matters is not how much time you spend on something, but how you use it. Time gives us the space to become wiser, stronger, and more prepared for what awaits us. Here's a deep reflection about your relationship with time. Sometimes we feel tempted to force life to adhere to a rhythm we define, thinking we can control everything. But isn't time asking us to trust its natural flow? What happens when, instead of racing against time, you simply let it flow, allowing it to work its magic? I know waiting can be one of the hardest parts. It feels like time is working against you when results don't appear as expected. Anxiety, despair, and a sense of losing control can take over. But if you pause and reflect, you may discover that time is not the villain in your story. It is actually a great ally in the transformation process. Have you ever stopped to consider the power of silence? In our noisy world filled with distractions, it's easy to lose ourselves in the rush of daily life. But what if silence was the key to finding the peace and clarity you seek? Silence is not just an absence of sound. It possesses the power to connect us with something much deeper, our inner self. We often operate on autopilot, going through motions without truly listening to what our mind, body, and soul are trying to communicate. Caught in a relentless stream of information, external demands, and expectations, we unwittingly disconnect from our true selves, our deepest desires, and our real purposes. Marcus Aurelius observed that silence is a form of control. Those who can maintain inner peace amidst chaos are truly at peace with themselves. When we allow ourselves moments of silence, we encounter something magical. Silence gives us a chance to breathe deeply and look inward, without haste, without judgment, and without the pressures of the external world. We can truly hear our inner voice, often drowned out by life's constant noise. When we stop seeking external answers and start listening to our hearts, we discover that we possess everything necessary for growth, for making decisions that resonate with our true selves, and for finding peace. Silence is more than just a pause. It's an invitation to introspection, which is vital for self-acknowledge. It's only when we genuinely stop that we can ask ourselves powerful questions. What do I truly want? How do I feel about this? What are my fears and insecurities? Silence provides the space to engage with these questions, not under the duress of needing immediate answers, but with the courage to explore the depths of our souls. Yet silence is not comfortable for everyone. When accustomed to constant noise, silence can be intimidating. It can be challenging to face our own minds without the usual distraction. We may experience discomfort, restlessness, and even anxiety, but this is natural. Silence often confronts us with the buried feelings and thoughts we avoid. However, it's within this confrontation that transformation occurs. Silence enables us to process these feelings, clear our minds, and discern what truly matters. Imagine a river when turbulent and swift. It's impossible to see the bottom, but when it calms, the water's clear and the depths become visible. Silence is like this moment of calm in the river of our minds, allowing us to see into our deepest layers, understand our true needs, and reconnect with our essence. Sometimes we need a moment of silence to assess our lives, to feel if we're on the right path or if adjustments are needed. Silence can remind us to pause and reflect before making significant decisions or even before taking a new step. In our haste, we often neglect our mental and emotional health, but silence brings us back to ourselves, reminding us of our humanity and our need to stop and recharge. Have you ever noticed how, when life gets hectic, the first thing we lose is our breath? Often, without even realizing it, we start breathing in a shallow, accelerated way, as if we're constantly racing against time. The weight of worries, anxiety, and stress accumulates, and we become so immersed in these feelings that we forget the simplest and most powerful tool we possess: the power of breathing. Breathing is something we do all the time, yet we rarely pause to truly feel it. When you breathe consciously, each breath becomes an opportunity to bring calm, restore your energy, and return to the present. Breathing is a gesture of life, and what many don't realize is that how we breathe can transform our emotional state, changing how we feel and react to the world around us. Have you ever tried just stopping for a moment to focus on your breathing? It's a simple but incredibly powerful practice. When you allow yourself to pause and pay attention to your breath, you begin to notice changes in your body. Your heart rate slows, your muscles relax, and your mind, which was previously overwhelmed, starts to clear. Breathing is like a key that opens the door to a profound sense of relaxation and inner peace. Zeno once said, "Inner peace is found when you accept life as it is without resistance." Interestingly, we don't need a perfect environment or complex techniques to harness the power of breathing. It's about focus. Breathe deeply, hold for a moment, then release the air slowly. When you do this consciously, you begin to notice how your body starts to relax, how tension diminishes, and how thoughts begin to distance themselves. Each breath becomes an anchor that brings you back to the present, What happens when we can relax in this way? The body recovers, the mind gains clarity, and emotions begin to stabilize. Stress, that constant enemy, loses some of its strength. Deep breathing helps us shift out of the fight-or-flight mode and into a state of rest and digestion, where we can heal and restore our energy. This change may not be visible to others, but something profound happens inside us. Breathing becomes a powerful tool for self-care and self-understanding. And that's not all. Breathing also has the power to connect us with our bodies in a more intimate way. We are often so distracted by external demands that we forget our bodies are trying to communicate with us. Conscious breathing helps us to hear these silent messages, to identify where we are tensing up, where we are tired, and where we need more attention. Breathing reminds us that we are alive, that we deserve moments of rest, and that we can indeed find relaxation. When was the last time you gave yourself permission to simply to stop for a moment and breathe deeply, unhurriedly, without the need to be in constant motion? The power of breathing is not just in the act of breathing itself, but in allowing ourselves to stop and pay attention to our bodies, our minds, and our well-being. Each breath is a chance to reconnect, to restore, and to remember that calm is not outside of us but within, waiting to be discovered. Have you ever considered how progress and peace can coexist? Often, we believe that achieving our goals requires relentless pressure and immense effort, as if the only way forward is through force and agitation. But what if I told you that true progress could be achieved with calm, discipline, and a deep sense of inner peace? The Stoic path teaches us exactly this: how to reach our goals in a serene, balanced, and conscious manner. Stoicism, a practical philosophy, guides us to embody virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control. It shows that true progress isn't about chasing rapid or hectic results. Instead, it's about understanding what truly matters and acting in accordance with what is within our control, while serenely accepting what we cannot change. When we discuss peace, we aren't referring to a superficial tranquility or a passive state. What the Stoics teach us is that inner peace comes from living in accordance with nature, with truth, and with what is under our control. By accepting that we cannot control everything and that events don't always unfold as we wish, we can set aside anxiety and frustration. This creates space for genuine tranquility, which becomes the foundation of any real and sustainable progress. How does this apply to our journey toward goals? Instead of being consumed by the pressure to achieve something at any cost, true progress comes from the daily practice of consistent effort and self-control. Stoicism encourages us to focus on the process, not merely the immediate result. As we adopt this mindset, pressure diminishes and peace arises, because we realize that the only thing we truly control is our present moment. Each small action and achievement becomes part of a deeper, more meaningful journey toward our goals. Imagine you are trying to learn a new skill or reach a new level in your life. Real progress isn't about comparing yourself to others or measuring success by external standards, but about evaluating your own journey, how much you've grown in your discipline, and what you've learned about yourself along the way. Stoicism reminds us that while we cannot control immediate outcomes, we can control our attitudes and responses to challenges. Here lies a crucial aspect of the Stoic path: acceptance. When we accept difficulties as natural parts of the process, they no longer appear as insurmountable obstacles, but become opportunities for learning. By embracing challenges with a calm mindset, without anxiety about the future, you foster a state of peace that doesn't rely on external circumstances. This peace, in turn, enables you to focus on what truly matters: your personal evolution and continuous progress. Remember, true peace isn't achieved when all our goals are met. Rather, it is something we cultivate along the way. It isn't the absence of difficulties, but the ability to confront challenges with a composed and controlled mind. By integrating this inner peace into your approach, you release anxiety and frustration, thereby creating space for real progress. Have you ever felt that the harder you try to achieve your goals, the more difficult it seems to become? The pressure, anxiety, and weight of expectations seem to build up, dragging us to a place of stagnation instead of propelling us forward. Over time, many of us learn that an obsession with immediate success can actually be a trap, and, importantly, that less pressure often leads to more success. This may sound contradictory, but a shift in perspective can profoundly transform how we achieve our goals. When we discuss pressure, it's not just about the external expectations imposed by others. It's also about the internal pressure, that inner voice incessantly telling us that we need to do more, be better, and not stop until we achieve our goals. This voice, though seemingly motivational, often creates a barrier to our progress. It pushes us into a relentless race against time for immediate results, as if our happiness hinges on meeting increasingly tight deadlines. Now, imagine for a moment what happens if you release this pressure. I'm not suggesting abandoning your goals or losing focus, but rather taking a pause to rethink your approach to pursuing your dreams. What happens when you slow down, allow yourself to enjoy the process and not just the end results, and trust that you're on the right path without needing to control every detail? The answer is simple. You create the mental and emotional space necessary to operate more efficiently. Pressure often fosters an environment filled with fear and apathy, where ideas stagnate and plans turn into obstacles. However, when you lessen this pressure, what once felt like a heavy burden transforms into lightness, and the process flows more naturally. You begin to operate with greater clarity, focus, and most importantly, confidence. You may even find that by allowing yourself some relaxation, you become more creative and develop innovative solutions to challenges. It seems counterintuitive, especially in a society that constantly tells us to keep running, stay busy, and work tirelessly. But what if the real key to success is to stop running and start flowing? By allowing yourself to breathe, you not only recover energy but also find the internal motivation needed to advance. It's crucial to understand that success is not a straight line. Often the path is filled with detours, pauses, and moments of introspection. Constant pressure blinds us to this reality, preventing us from seeing that true progress is built through small, calmly made decisions and patience with the process. When we act lightly, without the need to control everything, we create space for what truly matters: our personal growth, adaptation to the unexpected, and eventually, the realization of our dreams.